Time to wake up. Time to get out of bed.
Get out of your coffin, you son of a bitch.
Time to wake up. Gotta get out of bed. Get out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
The kings of Pottstown are here. Good morning, Internet.
Hello.
I hear you've been looking for us. I hear you've been waiting for us. Shit, we even got the angriest man in the world up at this time.
Whoa.
Good morning, sunshine. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Where to begin? Where to begin? Where should we start, boys? You tell me. You tell me. Where do you guys want to start? Pottstown Legends. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're too kind, Dr. Chow, but that is true. I guess we'll start by, I mean, everybody's heard, you know, we're hanging out at the house out there. And we'll pick it up, I guess, getting to the show. The crew got to the show very early, set up everything, cameras, audio, believe it or not, tested everything. And people are like, this is amateur. This is rookie shit. This is amateur. It's like, yeah, it's never happened to anyone before us. No one's ever set up equipment to do a live show or a podcast, and it's fucking fallen apart at the exact moment of the start of the show. Hell, all you guys that your pussies are heard about the dumb shit me and Carl got into, you should. I was talking to Carl yesterday about it. The guy who hates me and I hate him. Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday. It's happened to him numerous times. It'll probably happen again, but it happened.
That's why it's live.
That's why it's live. And I mean, I got to give a shout out to the crew, man. If you think it's easy fixing an audio problem while close to 400 people are heckling you, that adds a degree of difficulty to the situation, you know? And so here's the funny part. While all this is going on, right? The show's supposed to start. We're having tech. And literally before we opened the doors and let people in, every single thing was working perfectly.
Yeah.
Mics, the audio from the computer, everything. And it got so bad at one point, producer Joe goes, do we really need the stuttering John? Why don't we just go out and just do a podcast? I go, Joe, get the fuck away from me. Yes, close to 400, Douglas. I know Reddit wants you to believe. Look, it's easy to take pictures of the empty chairs in a room that holds 1,000 and say nobody showed up. But I can tell you that every single person, and it was way too many people on this show, got paid. Every single person. And we came home with money. So there were tickets sold. I know. You can't goof on the number because it wasn't 40. So now you got to goof on empty chairs. I get it. It's all you got. I got it. But people showed up. Lots of people. Everybody goes, Perry was the draw. Perry was a huge draw. Perry fucking should be the draw. Perry's a goddamn star. Perry's got more viewers and money coming in than all the fucking people you watch on YouTube put together. Kevin, Onions, you name it. All of us put together. Steel Toe. Perry's killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it. and he got a huge part of the turnout because Barry doesn't do live shit. He doesn't go to the East Coast ever. That was his first time in New York. Or
But it seemed like it did seem like it was just a comedy. They knew everybody big. I mean,
Right.
that's the way it felt. I mean, I know how it felt.
And people go, well, it was a bit of a train wreck. Of course it was. Look how many people we have attached to this thing.
Right.
Look how many moving parts we have. This is old school Killers of Comedy 101. This is Block Party 101.
Train wreck is built in. It's built into the
Guess what?
equation.
Guess what sells tickets? Train wrecks. Okay. We did the Block Party to 120 people in Long Island. And then Sal threw up on the bar in the middle of the show, and everybody, and then it got talked about on the air. And for the next 5 months, we were sold out every single place we went. City Council changing its name to Flopstown.
That's really funny.
It is.
But that wasn't even close to what happened. I mean, I was there.
I know. And that's the funny thing is all these shows, meanwhile, there were like 20 shows doing stuff on Pottstown yesterday. And all these shows are like, we have reporters on the scene. And it's like, good. Send reporters to every show. Make sure, buy VIP. We'll give you interviews. But, be accurate. There were quite, yes, people left because of the technical difficulty. It was a 50-minute delay. It was a long delay. A lot longer than I would have liked it to be. But again, the boys had a fire lit under them. They were fucking stressing, and they had to figure it out, and they did to a certain extent. The equipment, wasn't perfect like I'd like it to be, but while this is great, while all this is going on, all this chaos, I'm trying to help the guys, and and then I get a call, and it says Ray DeVito. So I pick up the phone. I go, hey, what's up, Ray? Oh, hey, man. Hey, I'm just wondering, like, I'm on my way down there. Just, what's going on exactly? And what time do you need me there? And what do you need me for? And I go, Ray, the podcast starts at 6. The comedy show's after the podcast. Just, get down here. Oh, okay, cool, man. Hey, by the way, I want to drop my stuff off at your guy's house. And it's like, the show is supposedly starting, if not a few minutes before. And I go, Ray, nobody's at the house.
Right.
He's at the house for you, which I don't even know why he's thinking to come to the house. And then he goes, oh, cool. Well, can I just pick up the keys to the house there, and I'll drive to the house and drop off? And I go, no, Ray, the house is an hour away from the venue. I don't have time to give you the keys right now, buddy. I'm handling something, okay? Okay, cool. Get off the phone with him. As soon as I start walking back, I get a text from Casey. Hey, I'm here. You guys upstairs? And I go, upstairs? It's a venue. Go upstairs. I go, what is going on here? So at that point, and then, the audio network, I kind of got the idea that this was good. We're going to have some rough spots here, and we did. And it's fine. We're not going to sit here and tell you everything was magical and golden. It wasn't. There were some issues. But once we got rolling, I'd like to think that the people that were there had a great time. We had to move. And I saw another thing. People said they canceled the meet and greet. We didn't cancel the meet and greet. We just made people wait an hour for the podcast to start. And we decided, why are we going to make people wait another hour for a meet and greet for a comedy show to start? Let's just start the comedy show, and we will do the meet and greet afterwards, which is exactly what we did. So nobody, oh, hello, John Williams, $100, had a blast Saturday. Everyone was so friendly, even though I awkwardly said hello to some of you. Can't wait for the next live event. That was the great thing about, oh, do you think Tony Mazur did something to the audio for Chad? What do you mean? I saw Tony there. He was there. He was.
And also, the audio was working as people were filing in the room.
I got you. No, yes, and that is true. It's literally once they sat down and we were ready to start, everything just shut off. Everything just went dead. But no, Tony did not sabotage the audio. Yes, Mommy was there. We were hanging with her. We had a great time. Husey, hey guys, can't wait for the podcast. Can't wait to take a ride. Oh, Can we get into Ray's set, or should we play some clips first? Jack Zim, 1999. Shuli was awesome. Mike was disarmingly charming, and the Rev was beautifully insane. The Shuli Network team worked their asses off. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, pal.
Thanks, Jack.
Keith L became a member. Thank you very much.
I do have some clips of Ray's broadcast last night.
You do? Okay. Hold on. Let me read this because they're too cheap to pay anything. So I'll throw them a favor. Shuli, you realize you just threw the juiciest red meat to the many people who call you a hack and amateur, right? This went exactly the way they thought it would. Good. I'm glad it went that way. I'm glad I could change 9 people's lives that never leave their fucking house. Good. Knock yourself out. I'm a hack. I suck. Meanwhile, I'm making a living doing what I love. You're handcuffed to a keyboard because that's the only place people listen and give a shit about you in make-believe land. So
yeah, and after the hour wait, things went pretty smooth, and there was some definitely iconic moments.
yes, that's for sure. Let's give me a clip of Ray. Let me see.
Give me 1 sec. I just got to get it queued up here.
God damn it! All right, let me go to this one.
Pottstown's all over again.
1,000. Yeah, let's go, boys. Leave that shit there. These people are tearing you apart. They're the best team in the business, and now I got to queue it up. You're the one who told me about it. All right, here we go. Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right. So
full screen. I want to see this.
So I'm driving in there yesterday. I'm getting there in the afternoon, and there's a house. It's on MLC. Levy says, "Hey, there's a house. You're crashing at the house. We got a spare room. You're crashing at the house."
I never said anything about a spare room.
Now, I want to tell you this. After the show, he was very upset, claiming that Levy told him that Levy told me that I could stay at the house.
I just said we got a house. That's what I said on here. We got a house. Just fucking
welcome to my world, pal. We got a show. Now there's 97 comics who think they're on it. Welcome to my world.
All right.
You don't remember?
Awesome. So
you don't remember inviting him out of a moment of weakness while he was a punching bag on the show for 3.5 hours?
Where, like on here, I heard everybody said, "Yeah, we got a house. Don't worry." I remember that.
Well,
No,
Ray said you said it on MLC.
Right.
Now, if I said it on MLC, it was said on here because I remember that.
No, but my point is, wherever it was said, was he ever invited? I don't know.
No, he wasn't. That's why I said that. I said that from the beginning that his name is not on the list.
Right.
It was never on the list. I had the list of who was going to be
Dr.
on the show.
Chow says you're wrong. Dr. Chow says you invited him on MLC.
Well, if I did, it was because I thought he was staying at the house.
Oh, Vinny the lawyer was there. I love Vinny so much, man. I love him so much. All right. So for the record, Ray may have gotten some signals crossed, right? Can happen.
Shocker.
Right. Shocker. Let's go.
I didn't even think about making arrangements on where to stay. That's on MLC. We'll get into that later in the thing. But I'm like, all right, I'm going to drop my stuff off at the house. And I talked to Shuli, and Shuli's like, no, just bring it to the show. Bring it to the show. So I'm not on the podcast. So I'm like, all right, I'm only doing the stand-up thing. So I don't like, he's like, bring it in the green room. I'm like, all right. And then I saw, like, I wasn't bringing all my stuff in the green room. But it turns out there's like a private parking lot for the comics that are on the show. So I just put my car in the back or whatever. So I left.
It's not a private parking lot. It's just parking in the back. Okay. Anybody can park there. And the reason why I suggest, it was the alley out back. The reason why I suggested bring your stuff in the green room is because he says to me, he goes, I want to drop my stuff off at the house. And I go, well, Ray, I don't, nobody's there. And timing wise, it's not working out. He goes, well, I mean, I have all my stuff with me. He goes, I got my computer, I got my clothes, I got my thing. And I'm like, well, Ray, then just bring it in the green room. I don't know what to tell you. I can't make this house happen right now for you.
He should have just covered the computer with his Bad News Bears jersey. Nobody would have tried to break into the car.
Yeah, word was that you honestly had a good set. Who? Oh, that's in his chat.
That's his, yeah.
Okay, so people lie to him in chat too. All right, go ahead.
All my stuff in my car. And then Word was that you honestly had a yeah. Well, thanks. No, we're gonna hear it. You guys can judge for yourself if I had a good set or not. I don't care. It is what it is. But
Why
one
is he
reason why I
making
didn't
such a
want to do
big thing over it, whether he had a good set? Like it's so much stuff that is going through his mind before a show that he waits until the last minute.
He was literally writing backstage as I was bringing him out.
jokes. I knew it was going to be all leaked. All right, so back to me. I got to focus on my stories. So I'm getting there early. I get there early, and then like they have technical difficulties, which I think we all know now. It took a while to get the microphones going, so the show started, which is fine. It happens, whatever. But the podcast was good. I mean, they had a good podcast. I didn't watch it all. I was in the green room hanging out. I didn't get to watch a lot of. I didn't watch a lot of it.
Pause it. Why would he watch something now that he hasn't watched a second of the entire time he's worked for the network?
This is the picture I see every time he talks to me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the question that runs through Bob's mind every time he sees that picture.
But the podcast was good. Everyone's enjoying. And there's maybe like 250, 300 some people there. Like it's pretty packed out. I mean, I guess it can fit it down, but it was packed out. I'm not going to lie. It was packed out. And yeah, they were mostly there to see Perry Caravello. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was a Perry Caravello. They're wearing his.
Him to lie all this time. Why does he keep saying I'm not going to lie?
That's his by the way.
But yeah. Right, like there's somebody standing in front of him with a gun, going, "Don't you fucking lie!"
PCL T-shirts and stuff. It was a Perry crowd. Like they were there to see him. He was the man. Can you send me the? If you want to, Kinky Loco, you can jump on after. Let me get through like what I'm talking about. Let me go through the whole show. So they finally get the podcast going, and it was awesome. Cardiff.
Pause it. Ray DeVito
he's going to get through the whole show, but the whole thing is he didn't watch any of it.
Not 1 second of it. Not 1 second. Ray DeVito deserves better than this. Kevin, please start your own network and destroy these hacks. By all means, Kevin, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Cardiff Electric, very cool dude. I got to hang out with Cardiff, fantastic guy, awesome dude. Had a lot of fun with him. But like I don't know Perry Caravello. I saw the movies, Windy City Heat, and it's a great movie. I like the movie, but like the whole movie is like he's like doesn't know what's going on or whatever. Like everyone's in on the joke, but him or whatever. And so that's like his thing.
Wait, pause it.
His gimmick. But
I get to these points where I get super frustrated with Ray, and in my frustration, I come up with these amazing ideas for Ray. And listening to him review Windy City Heat, I'm going, Ray's doing this all wrong. He needs a movie review show. Right. I've never heard a movie explained like the way he explained Windy City Heat. And it's like he's a guy who doesn't know whatever, and so like whatever, that's the movie and whatever.
5 stars.
Yeah.
But that was the gimmick in the movie. I did not know that applies in real life, because apparently, like that's what the podcast was. Which, if you guys saw it, I'm assuming it's out live or it's coming out live. Producer Joe did a great job. They did a great job. I mean, they had like a great. That's the other thing too. I was gonna do a different set. I'm like, can you record my set? I'm like, we can't record.
Nobody fucking cared what the fuck you were doing. Holy shit! It's fucking amazing to fucking hear this.
I think you're a little confused here. We're not blaming anything on Ray. We're going over clips of Ray talking about the show because I'd like to hear Ray's thoughts on this. We've addressed everything that was brought up. If you have any questions, put them up in here. We'll address, and you don't have to pay like other shows. We'll just answer. It's okay. There's no fucking shaming poor people here. It's fine.
It's not a $2 minimum.
Yeah, no. We won't fucking turn you back crying. You only have $2 to your name. Don't worry, Ray spent the night with me, but he was 2 DJs short and his jaw hurt. I hope he's a man of his word. Let's keep it going. Come on.
Hey, so real quick, I was responsible for sound, by the way. Somebody was asking that. It's the question in Ray's chat, so just wanted to let. And then the other thing, Ray's talking about the recording of the sets. When he said to me, "Are you recording my set?" I said, "No, Ray, we're recording everything but your set." And he took that seriously.
God, years.
Recording, like, you guys got a zillion cameras and you can't record my set. So, like, all right, that made me feel like, all right, I felt like I was kind of like I invited myself to
You
a
did.
birthday party that
I mean, Bob, is this crazy that it took him to the night of the show to realize he's crowbarred his way into this?
I'm just
whole thing?
shocked, you know. I look, I don't take care of anything, you know. So I'm like, all I was doing was putting the lineup together, basically, you know. And he wasn't on the lineup. He wasn't on it at all, you know. And then with the house, I'm like, yeah, just whatever, just crash at the house. Who cares? You know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean? It's not my deal to make sure that everybody has somewhere to stay. That's not me.
Yeah, like if you know, like Skankfest, for example. Last Skankfest I didn't bother them for a place to stay. It's either in the mix or you find it on your own.
Mhm.
That's it. Those are the only two options in this business. They either get you a place or you get yourself a place.
And
Joe
you always
is
you
right.
always you always establish that immediately up front during the
Of
first phone
course.
call. Yeah.
Pay and
Mhm.
stay. Those
Right.
are the two things, right? Yes, I agree, Johnny. Thank you. Hold on. You wanted people from the network there, and Ray was the only one from the network able to show. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. You know, Dixon had some issues. Zenhauser had car issues. That's fine. I mean, look, before Bob even took the stage, it was 50 minutes of stand-up. Everybody was doing 10 minutes. That was the other thing. That's why I only hosted. It's because I just want to fucking move shit along the whole night so people don't get burnt out. And another thing I wanted to address, I saw people were saying that Kumia bombed. So not true. I know you guys want to believe this and you want to make it
Yeah.
a reality, but when he got the light and he said, "Hey, I got to get out of here," people started booing that he was leaving
Mhm.
so soon. So they don't do that when you bomb, you know.
Yeah,
And
I
he
was
did
sitting
bomb.
backstage, you know, I was starting to get a migraine and I was like listening to, I definitely heard his set and it
Had a great
was
set.
very good.
Yep.
It was
Great
very
set.
loud.
Better,
Yeah.
much better than he was in Rochester.
Mhm.
And he was good in Rochester.
Mhm.
And I told him afterwards, I'm like, "Hey, you fucking working on shit," you know. Hold on. Angry. Shuli, just say you fucked up and you're sorry. It's what adults do when they fuck up. You're 60 years old, 48. You should know this by now. Thank you, Daniel C. Apologize. Yeah, I did. I apologized to the people who were there numerous times.
Mhm.
I apologized to them at the before the podcast started, after the podcast started, when the comedy show started, during the meet and greet. I apologize to all of them. You want me to apologize to you? Buy a fucking ticket if you want an apology, you cocksucker. A great time hanging, talking with Tony Mazer most of the night. What a great guy. I don't get that.
Yeah, and it seemed like most people there were not too upset about the delay. You know,
Listen,
they'd
the
been
people who weren't there left because of the delay. I get it. That's on us. That's
Right.
our fuck up. There's nothing we can do about it. But the people who stayed loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
right. The people who left obviously never went to a Guns N' Roses concert.
Or a Two Live Crew show.
Right.
Yeah, they fucking Two Live Crew. I went to see them at 10 o'clock show. They started at 1:30. So I mean, oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. You owe us an apology for exposing us to
Right.
Ray. Oh, I'm sorry. I want you to apologize publicly. Never. I will never do what you want. How do you like that? Go back to your nameless, faceless life. Jerk off. We'll get
really-
to Casey. Yes. All right, let's finish up with Ray.
wasn't invited to. I'll be honest. I kind of felt like they all knew Perry, and it was like I felt like I was crashing someone's party. I'm not going to lie. I did feel everyone was very nice to me. Everyone at the venue, everyone, Shuli now, everyone's nice to me. I'm not saying that, but it definitely, like, I felt like, all right, this isn't my party. Like, I invited myself to a party indirectly that maybe is it true you had a great set with standing applause and 2 encores? That's what everyone's saying. No, it was not that at all. Exactly. They couldn't spare They couldn't spare the film. Exactly. That's essentially what they were saying.
Yeah, we
But it
use
was like, all
film
right.
for all our shows. we record on film.
So I was going to do jokes,
Yeah.
which you're going to hear in my set. So it's all good. But the Perry Caravello thing, like, so I guess like his whole shtick is everyone's in on what's going on except him. So that's like the shtick. And so they're showing
That's
him
the Ray
videos of people-
DeVito story.
I was gonna say, I don't know who he's talking about, it Perry or Ray. Good.
breaking into his house, and he's like believing that, like, I get the movie, but like if that's the gimmick in real life, you guys tell me. Perry's a nice guy and everyone that he's with were very nice people, but if that's a gimmick, it was like a little weird because like I'm in the green room and like he's in the green room and he's having like anxiety attacks and he's like trying to fight one of his guys and he's like, I'm out of here. And they're like, no, you got to, they're like restraining Perry and they're like, you can't leave. So, and there's no cameras back there. So it's not like it was like so
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys tell me, is that what Perry's actually like?
Well,
I
obviously,
wanna
if he's
say-
doing it backstage, that's what he's like. Yeah, it was like, it's the
Yeah.
whole point he just made. There's no cameras.
Yeah.
It was just Perry.
Good.
Shuli gave me $100 up front because the check he gave me was for $200. So I got a $200 check, but I want to say that he gave me $100 earlier when I was getting. So I did get a check for $200. So, but I believe that I was given $100 earlier, or I think someone gave me $100 in a super chat that said, "Here's $100 towards Ray's pay," and then he did Venmo me that when whoever sent that. So that was fine. That was on like Miserable Men or something.
He actually made more. He actually pause it. He actually made more money than he fucking conned us out of. Okay, with his fucking. I had a gig that weekend for 300. So he ended up getting a check for 250 at the end of the night, and he ended up getting which is $50 less than he would have got at the gig, and then he ended up getting $100 before that. So he made more money at our gig for one show. One set that was supposed to be 10 minutes, the set, and you get lit at 8 minutes. That's how you know you got 2 minutes left. That's how everybody did it. Nobody, and I mean nobody had an issue with the light or timing,
Right.
except this fucking guy. And everybody there leading up to it, we were all like, Ray cannot go long. Ray cannot go long. Ray cannot go long. Good news. Ray did not go long. Ray left early. Ray did 5 minutes of a 10-minute set. And I'm backstage in the green room talking, getting, people ready. Who's next? You're this, you're that. And all of a sudden I just, what happened? What happened? Who went on stage or what happened? Because it took me a minute to get up there. And I'm trying to remember what Ray was still on stage, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he tried to end his set and then realized that you weren't in the room to come up and announce the next comic.
And
so he kind of vamped for a
I
minute.
was in the back of the room watching.
Oh,
it.
really?
He said that, and then you didn't come out, and I start running through the crowd because he was going to just walk off.
He was just
And
going to
then-
leave. He
yeah.
was just going to leave the stage. And it's like, yeah, I wasn't ready to take him off because it had been 5 minutes since he went up there. We heard you were out back smoking during his set. Maybe I was. I had time to. That's the
He
thing.
had 10
It's not like
minutes.
it's not like my fucking. It doesn't take 10 minutes to smoke a cigarette, especially when I'm hosting a show. How racist was Kumia? He was great, dude. We killed the black and Asian. It was awesome. It was funny. Instead of pyrotechnics, we just threw their heads in the crowd at the end. It's great. Green room equals back alley. There was a back alley near a green room that was enclosed. Yeah, you're okay. You're right. You know what? Our green room's in the parking lot. We sat in the mud. Everybody fucking had flies on their faces. You got it. Was I smoking around Ray? I think so, yeah. And Ray showed up drunk again, buzzed as usual. And he had no problem with the drinks in the green room, I'll tell you that. There was no issue there. All right, go ahead.
Ray, you overthought it. Would have been fine. No, it's. I'm going to get into the whole thing. I I'm happy with what I did. I was fine. But I was hanging out with Kumia, and I was talking to Kumia about like, yeah, dude, I saw that 15-minute clip about you shitting on my comedy special.
Do you even like Ray Shuli? You seem to talk a lot of shit about him. I'm sorry, but you, Bob, and Mike are not Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle, so why use him if you don't like him? Genta, listen, first of all, I like Ray enough to reach out to him and ask him to do a show on the network. That's number one. I don't do that with people I don't like. Number two, since Ray has been on the network, I've had some issues with him, regarding what his issues were with me or the network, and instead of talking to me about it, going on his podcast and talking about it, or going on other people's podcasts and talking about it. If you got a problem with something, come talk to me. I'm here, right? And he hasn't. And there's been numerous occasions like that of some stuff that's not for air and some stuff that is. And so I've done nothing but try to be helpful with Ray and generous with Ray. I've always paid Ray what he's made. So I don't have anything against him, but here's my opinion, for example, right? Here's my take. And maybe I'm just an idiot, but if I'm Ray DeVito and I do this show that's part of these guys' podcast world, right? And then I have stuff I want to say, maybe I reach out to these guys and go, hey guys, when you go live, can I come on and when you do the review of Pottstown? But no, instead he wants to sit in his dresser, in front of his dresser by himself, without anybody actually adding or maybe even contradicting what he's saying, and then just putting his spin on it. So, it's the choices Ray makes. He's an adult. He knows what he's doing. He knows the choices he's making. So yeah, I got no hatred for Ray. All good. But Ray's just I don't know. Ray's an angry guy. At least with me, it seems like.
He's like, what are you talking about? I go, the C word thing. Oh, that was you? I was like, yeah, that was me. He goes, oh. And then he hugged me and he goes, oh, I didn't think I'd actually run into you in person. He goes, I shit on people all the time. I don't know if I'm going to run into them. I was like, dude, it's cool. I wasn't upset with that. I thought it was kind of funny.
No, you didn't. you didn't. You said it for days.
Yeah. I mean, what's your take, Bob? You're sitting there rather quiet this morning. I feel
I'm
like
just confused because I don't know why he hits you up the day of what's going on when there's other stuff going on that you're thinking about. It's like he's like a child.
Last minute Ray.
Yeah, and then he's like, he goes, I knew I was going somewhere I wasn't invited to. I felt like it was a party. Why come? I don't get it.
Well, also, I mean, he could have watched one of Perry's shows to know what was going on with him, and
he could have watched anything, anything. If he didn't even know that we weren't at the house anymore. Anything, he didn't know anything because he just showed up.
Because he doesn't care enough to know anything. He doesn't watch anything. He doesn't ask anything. He just, like you said, he just shows up. And then he's like, well, what can you do for me? How can you help me now that I'm here? And we got other shit going on, Ray. It's nothing personal. There's a whole fucking disaster starting for the start of this show. And you want me to stop now and give you keys to the place and the directions and address? Dave Davila, 5 gifted. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dave.
Like, I can't.
Like, as soon as I saw Mazer there, I kind of knew he was just there to snipe it for Chad, to be honest with you. I know Chad hates
it. Very nice.
He didn't snipe anything. He sat in the green room.
Download now.
Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He was just very friendly to everybody. He was very nice to everybody. I mean, what are we supposed to do, Ray? Fucking throw him off the ledge?
That's the thing. Ray's so involved in all this shit. It's like, I got news for you. People, if they're committing enough to come to that show and they're backstage with us and it ain't going to go down like that. Who's the guy that I love from Tim? Who am I thinking of?
Teamster Tim.
Teamster Tim. He's backstage. I got to see him. What a sweetheart of a guy. Great
Yeah.
people back there. Everybody having fun. Everybody drinking. The look on High Pitch Eric's face when he got to take a picture with Anthony. Oh my
Mhm.
God. He was so excited. By the way, Tony Mazer works out. So if you guys are going to talk some shit, watch out.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
By
buddy.
the way.
How you doing?
Hey,
man?
Sweet
hey, by the way,
Hold on. I got to ask this because I don't remember doing this, but there seems to be this rumor that I started a fuck Kevin Brennan chant at the show. Did I ever do that?
No,
I believe that was Cardiff.
Thank you. Thank you. But I'm sure Kevin sees this. He'll believe it. So go run with it, Kevin, because it was said on the internet.
And he was doing a spot-on Shuley impression at the time.
No, for real. Did I start a chant?
No, for real, Cardiff did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I'm sitting here racking my brain. I'm going, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I may have joined in once it was started, but I didn't start it.
It's a big difference.
It's a joke. All right, is there anything else good in here? Because he's putting me to sleep.
Nah, not really.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
but the show did kick ass. There's no doubt about that. From what I heard, I couldn't hear when I was outside, or in the green room. It was a little.
Oh, another thing. Bob Levy was hammered, was
Oh, no.
wasted, was a mess. That was the other thing. Bob
I
walked
drove
around that
home.
stage. Bob walked around that stage like a fucking tiger, just destroying that fucking room. Everybody loved it. Standing ovation coming on stage, standing ovation leaving the stage. So that's how much of a bomb it was. I
Yeah.
know we suck. That's why you're here bright and early, watching every second of it. Did a show in LA, and when we got there to set up, the DJ sound guy went on an hour lunch, and they didn't have an adapter to plug in for their audio systems into the computer. Always something. Exactly. Just heads up, guys. The Air Pottstown doesn't have the greatest PA.
Yeah, and a lot of people
fucking
stood
love
by the
music.
bar because there
Usually.
wasn't waitresses. There wasn't. So there was a lot of people that would just buy the bar area because they wanted drinks too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mr. Lost had. Oh yeah, did you meet Lost?
Yeah,
Yeah,
great
he was
guy.
great. Lost had a lot of fun, but had PSD from Naked High Pitch Eric. Should we
Oof.
talk about that?
So about that, we do have a photo. You
Well,
want to talk about
That's
it
not going to
first?
get us in trouble, is it?
No, thankfully, the great Bobby Fran has edited for us, so it won't. He's the one that took the photo as well.
Okay. So we had High Pitch wanted to con because Vinny the lawyer was coming out, and they both came out together. And originally,
He's
the
a
plan
great
was-
guy, Vinny. It was
Vinny's
nice to meet him.
fantastic.
Yep.
And was so, and he, in all honesty, he's the one guy that I was like, when all the shit was hitting the fan, I'm like, great, Vinny's here. I'm like, he's gonna be such a dickhead about it. He's always a dickhead. I love him, but he's a dickhead.
Right.
And he was the one guy that kept relaxing, that kept calming me down, where he was just like, hey man, what are you gonna do? Shit happens. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this motherfucker's setting me up. I can see it. I can see it. He's getting me relaxed and calm, and then he's just gonna go, what a fucking piece of shit. But that's Vinny, and I love him. But yes, somebody had a bottle of ranch backstage. Go figure. I don't know how that ended up there. Blue cheese next time. Anyways,
Mhm.
so they go, Bob, would you do the bit? Bob's like, no, the bit's retired. I said, I got an idea. I go, what if we ask for a lady to come out of the audience and High Pitch comes out on stage, and then and everybody will go nuts thinking that you're gonna eat shit out of High Pitch's ass, ranch. And and I didn't know Eric was actually gonna do it. We do it. Bob finishes. I come up. I go, hold on. I go, somebody brought this, and we can't end the show. I go, I know you don't do it anymore, but is there a volunteer? And from the side of the stage comes High Pitch. The place goes nuts.
Crazy.
And as a joke, I go, all right, drop your pants. And he's facing the audience with his ass. And and I go, no. I go, no. He said, don't do that. Don't do that. I go, face the audience. And then I go, yeah, drop your pants. And he didn't pull him down. He pulled him down to his knees. They were his cock, his balls, his ass, everything's just pouring on stage.
Well,
You
the
wanna
thing is,
tell me-
there was no cock though.
No,
It was there's just balls.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
didn't
little-
even know that happened like that.
technically we could show full frontal and not get in trouble on YouTube. It looked like it's and I love people go, the audio was a shit show. This was a shit show. This was a 400-pound fat fuck with his cock and balls out on stage. That's a shit show. So I poured it in his ass. I poured the ranch down the crack of his ass, and Bob goes from behind, and I'm sitting here going, "There's no way." I go, "This is the ass he comes out of retirement for." I go, "Here now," and next thing you know. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Bob takes the microphone and sticks it right in Eric's ass, and then lets go of it. And the mic is just sitting in Eric's ass. It's like a sleeve. It's like you put it in a sleeve. Then Eric's like, I love it. Eric's like, "What the fuck?" And he pulls it out like a chicken wing and ranch. Like it's just dripping with ranch, and he just drops
I
it.
didn't know what to do.
That
So
was
we
the
actually
right
have a photo of the exact moment.
Sounds gay? Sounds?
thing.
Go ahead. Let's see the photo. Yeah, there you go. Bob looks like you look like you're throwing a grenade and you're
Right.
preparing for the explosion.
I really
Run,
didn't have
save
to look.
yourselves.
And
That was great.
then just Eric calmly pulls his pants and underwear back up
Yeah.
and walks backstage. And not one point did I see him backstage cleaning or go, "I gotta go take care of this." Nothing.
Nope.
He just stayed in his outfit and just rocked the rest of the night.
But there was that brief second where you said, "Is Bob really going to do it?" Because it's not a woman, so Gina couldn't say anything.
That's right. That's right. Who got married at the show? Nobody got married at the show. I think a couple people got divorced at the show, but I don't think anybody got married.
Remember that
yeah,
guy, the guy up front who's his girl brought him, and he was
Oh, that
Oh
was
my
funny.
God! In the
Yeah.
front row,
yeah.
you can always tell even from the Killers of Comedy days, you can always tell who is a fan and who was dragged there, who was forced to come there. And this chick, husband or boyfriend was in the front row, and
Miserable.
I mean, arms folded, not a smirk, not a smile, and I'm talking from start to finish.
Mhm.
It was impressive.
I'm
Yeah.
like, is this Vinny the attorney, or am I? That must be a Ray fan. I don't know, but the guy didn't budge. The whole fucking show was just miserable. The whole show. Where's that mic now? In Pottstown. Left it there.
Yeah.
It was one of my extra mics, right, boys?
Yeah, that's the story we're going with. It wasn't the clubs.
Yeah. So I just left it there. There's no coming back from some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what we were
Going to be an
just
outbreak of diphtheria in
The guy in the front row.
in Potsdam.
Yeah. So the guy in the front row was just miserable the entire show. And then I asked him at one point, I'm like, "Are you all right? You get dragged here?" And he's like, "Yep." And then he started telling me about his medical condition. What I did, he goes, damage to the eardrum. Just like, it's like, "You guys are too close to the microphone." I go, "Okay, we'll change the whole show up for you, sir. How about that?" Christ, I just told High Pitch, go up there and do sign language, so this guy will fucking laugh at something. Didn't work.
But the crowd was fun. I thought they were a lot of fun.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
It's what you expect craziness, and you just got to handle it. What's so hard about that? It's like you can't. Okay, Ray made it sound like they were loud. There was three. You shut them up. They weren't. You know what I mean? I shut them down in a second every time.
We did it during the podcast a few times with those three guys on the right that were really wasted. And they stayed the whole show, and they came and apologized at the end of the night when they were the most wasted, and say, "We weren't trying to cause a distraction, but it's like, whatever, shit happens. You just gotta roll with it. You just gotta fucking figure it out."
And at the end, I don't think you guys saw this, but two of them almost went at it with each other.
Yeah,
Yes.
one fell over the chair.
Right, right.
Yeah.
They put the chair in front of the other guy, and he fucking fell over, and I was just standing there fucking laughing.
Yeah.
When are you guys announcing the rest of the tour? This is the guy that's been saying we're shit since we started the show. Wants to know the rest of the tour dates. We'll get right on that, sir. We'll get that out to you. Don't you worry about it. And then Chad was on fire yesterday. I've got multiple sources that say it was a total shit show. Total shit show. Start to finish. You heard it here first, folks. Take it from me. Everything I've said is bullshit from day one. Let me tell you. But yeah, that's my favorite thing is people were like, we have live reporters on the scene. Like it was some sort of fucking international news story. Great. Love it. Love the hype.
Yeah,
You guys are welcome, by the way. We gave you guys something to do on a fucking Sunday.
Yeah, I think when the podcast went, it went really good, and the comedy show went really good. I mean,
Yeah, listen,
I-
the podcast, I think the delay hurt because the audience was a little bit more drunk than
Mhm.
when we came out and started again.
Right, and they started in the parking lot. There was a tailgate party.
It was like Woodstock. People
Yeah.
were making babies in the lawn. It
they
was
brought a
crazy.
boat for
Yeah.
Perry.
Yeah, and I don't want to upset Reddit, but we are talking about Shuli Palooza next summer. Okay, so if you have a band or podcast, get in touch. Thank you.
A band, many
Yeah.
bands.
And Perry was he was very emotional about it. You know,
Oh,
'cause
that was the best, Bob.
he
That was the
was-
best. We
it
brought
was.
Perry. Perry hasn't done stand up in what,
Mhm.
15 years, probably over
Yeah.
10. I
Probably
think.
longer. Yeah.
And we bring up Woodstock, more like livestock. Hello.
there he is.
I can't wait to announce, guys. We got a lecture happening at Shuli Palooza on the Guinea the Lawyer stage. Head over to the Guinea the Lawyer stage, guys. Yeah, I love that because you could tell Perry was very nervous
Mhm.
Yeah.
about going back out and doing the show, and he wasn't sure, and he never really got a look at the crowd. He never really saw
Yeah.
who was out there and how many were out there, and it was the coolest thing, man. We introduced
Yeah.
him. I introduced him. He comes out, and he immediately just starts weeping as he sees the audience. So I thought that was awesome, and he's just such a fun guy to be around because it's really like you have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, it is the
Yeah.
ultimate, magic 8 ball. You just shake it and see what the fuck shows up. There are
But
some
he was-
things,
he was very happy. You
He's
know, he was
thrilled.
very happy.
he was thrilled, and
Yeah.
he did his set with an occasional interruption here and there of some McDonald's deliveries, some pickles,
Pizza.
some pizza.
Which he
Yeah,
threw, and the pizza went flying into the crowd.
guy in the middle of his set comes, delivers 2 Domino's pizza. Perry grabs them and just fucking throws it as far as possible. The show is an overall flop, technically, but on a positive, we can only go one direction. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you. Me, Vinny, and Carl were texted yesterday. Carl sends his sympathies, boys. He's been where you are, and he says, he goes, that must have been shitty for those guys.
Can I
So,
address that real quick?
Yeah.
So I think another part of the thing as I've thought through this since is those guys made it really easy for us in Rochester.
No,
like
absolutely.
Vinny
absolutely.
Paulino. I
Yeah.
don't know how much you saw of him running around in the moments
Yeah.
before the show
yeah.
started.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that guy's everywhere. What's going He was checking all the stuff that was, they just made it really easy for us to show up and plug our laptops in.
And I think that's a lot of it went into kind of doing this where we just assumed it was going to be that easy, right? And
Exactly.
both crews worked so well together.
Mhm.
WATP. I mean, our crew, put together all the Dabby stuff. Their crew helped with the ins and outs and technicality of everything, considering it was the first time we were ever doing it.
Right.
And that's why we wanted to do it with WATP. We know they've done it. We know they're great at it. And that was the whole goal, is to work with somebody who can kind of show us how this is done and done the right way.
Mhm.
And even they've had their issues in the past, and it's fine. It's a part of the thing. You learn from it, hopefully, and it doesn't happen the next time. And they've done live shows since, and they haven't had any issues. So they're great at what they do. And I agree. You You had actual professional entertainers in Rochester. Literally the same lineup. Almost
Pretty much,
identical.
pretty much.
A few people not on it, but yeah. But okay, sure. Whatever you want.
But we did
But
have a professional audio guy there in Vinny Paulino.
Yes, and in the course of your blind hatred, if you could take a listen and take a second to listen, we're actually complimenting WATP and all those guys, and we do like them. I know you guys are so pussy hurt, but we're friends. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Kensel, this is a great show. I'm sorry I missed you guys on Friday, but my hamster had diarrhea. Hey, we've all been there, Kensel.
Yes.
We get it.
Having
Love
to
you,
clean those
buddy.
wood chips. Understood.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I know who caused the technical difficulties. Comedy knew it was going to be grossly misrepresented that night and tried to shut the hackback down almost with blind stupidity. They preserved. Thank you, DG. Thank
Right.
you.
He gets us.
Yeah, it's the home of the shit talking chats. Put them up.
Yeah, it was definitely it definitely was a fun time. You know, it's like I was there, you know what I mean? I seen everything. I was up for the podcast. That went very well. That totally went very well. And the comedy show, what I didn't see, I heard the reaction from the crowd.
Yeah, I think it went smoothly. I think yeah, and
Well,
then
smoothly, I don't know, is the right.
Well,
I mean, once it got started,
right,
yeah.
right, yes, no, not the shit show in the beginning, getting it started, but once it started, yeah, everything was fine. And then when Perry came out, it was a whole different level.
What about KC? Oh, KC. I mean, KC hadn't done stand up in what? I don't know when's the last time he did stand up. And he came out there and didn't miss a beat and fucking just went right back into his child material. Which is, I mean, with all the stuff they've seen that night, you know, Aaron's cock and balls and asshole, KC's material, they're like, this is jarring. They're like, this is. Casey did great. And then Casey don't send him a link. Don't send him a link. Send him a link. KC had an after party at a strip club in town. Bob, explain how that works. Like back from the Killers of Comedy days, what that means when you have an after party at a strip club.
Well, usually the club or somebody will hit up the club, I guess, and then they take care of everything. I it's been so long, you know what I mean? But I never did it, but I know that clubs in the area would want to do something to get people over after the show.
Right. You're doing an event. If you plug the club and come over there and people come in, you know, in Vegas, they do that. If the cab drivers bring tourists to a strip club, they get a little cut. You know, they get a little something to wet their beak for bringing customers in. So, you know, so that's kind of like the after party thing at these clubs a lot of the times. And yes, the club was called Utopia Cabaret. I got to go because Kumia put out a tweet and I got to read this because it mentions the club.
Yeah, Casey interviewed the lady, a bartender there, and he's like, heard it's something different than every other club. Can you tell us about it? And it basically was the same. You know what I mean? I've never seen a bartender get interviewed about a strip club before. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, Amish strippers. Thank you, Terry.
It was great to meet Terry Nee there.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
pretty
Terry
cool.
Nee.
Terry Nee. Who else was there? Scheckler? Was Scheckler there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
that's
supposed to be
him.
on the DL, but now that we've said it.
Why? What
May
was
or
it?
may not have been him.
Okay. No Scheckler there. I
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, Don Jameson was there. Hey, Don.
Doing well. Yeah, Terry Nee was there. Thanks, guys, by the way. It was great opening up the show. For anyone who wasn't there, I did a tight 48 minutes, but it barely seemed like 60 seconds. Am I right?
Dude, it went by like nothing. KB
really
was
did.
there. Mommy was there.
Mhm.
Oh, here's the tweet summed up. Kumia said it was the best show, but the worst strip club. Yeah, I just wanted to get his exact wording on how bad the strip club was. But Bob, Casey asked Bob to do his show Friday night, right? And so Bob stayed home to do Casey's YouTube show, and he's been trying to get Bob on for weeks. He finally gets Bob on, and the first thing he does is bring on a bartender from the strip club and interviews her for 15 minutes about. Now tell me about the world of strip clubs. It is fascinating. Am I right? And so Bob's just sitting there going, "What the fuck is going on here?"
I almost laugh sometimes. I mean, right, like out loud. It was like, so tell me a little bit what your club is, how it's different. from
Isn't
others."
life like a mixed drink when you really break it down, ma'am? So yeah, he has this after party at this strip club, and we drove by it a couple times on the way to the venue and on the way home, and I can just tell from the outside, I'm like, this is such a shithole. It's not gonna be good.
That ain't scores.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you advertise it being a shithole, you know. Sometimes, like there's a place in Vegas, I forget the name of it, but it used to have a sign that says 48 of the hottest women and 2 ugly ones, you know. And so going in there. In fact, now people are going in going, "Where's the ugly one? I want to see one of the ugly ones." You've created drama and intrigue. Casey should have a segment where he takes apart different computer each show.
Yeah.
I like that idea, but he's on the computer while he's taking it apart. So the show always ends when he gets to that one wire or that one part. that he takes. Here we go. Giddy. Bob surprised me for real. By far the best performer at the venue. Yeah.
Surprisingly spry.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Don't worry about it. It's a compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, we can tell you it's not going to stick and you'll never remember it. So really a waste of time.
Hey, boys, we're backed up on super chats.
All right, let's go. Glitter Gulch. Wow, I remember that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, put it back up. Ray is low rent down on his luck, stuttering John. Did he borrow his brother's ill-fitting suit too? That's the new thing now is telling everybody that they're the next stuttering John.
Yeah.
You know, cool. Thanks for the gifted subs, Dave. Yes, another one. Wow, thank you, Dave.
Oh, nice.
Puffy 1999. Not scared. Can't wait to see the shit show in Vegas. West Coast. West Coast. You're on the clock. It is being planned as we speak. Ray can really bore you with an interesting story. That's what I'm saying. If you just wait and come on with us, like we can make it fun. We can make it funny. We can make it where people aren't pissed at you or vice versa.
He was just bad. He would tell a story and then he'd go, and somebody taped it and you can go to jail. I've seen people go to jail. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking? I had to turn it off because it was just so out of his mind. I never heard somebody talk like that before.
Hey,
Never.
Shuli, can I answer the next one?
What?
Yes, Vinny, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vinny. Yeah. We miss you in general. I was texting
Yeah.
him before we went out there, telling him how much I miss him and love him. Ray DeVito just got booked to headline Brian Johnson's Boring Beardy Bash 2023. Yuzi, you're on tomorrow. That joke just earned you a spot on BS tomorrow. Any Governale stories on behalf of you and Bob? Sal? Sal? Where's Sal? He wasn't there. You're just talking about Governale throughout history stories? Yeah, maybe remind me tomorrow. We'll talk about Governale. We'll tell some stories. Every live event I've ever gone to started late, never on time. And believe me, I would have liked to have started it a lot less than 50 minutes late. But what are we going to do at this point? Cancel the fucking show?
Right.
There's no way. We'll figure it out. And I told the guys, I know you're stressed. I know you're freaking out. Deep breath, relax. We'll figure it out. Okay? There's nothing we can do.
Right. And also it's supposed to start at 6, so it's not like we're supposed to start at 11. You know,
right. And like adding fuel to the fire by screaming at guys who are trying to figure out what's going on. I know it was working 10 minutes ago. I know. I tested it. I helped test it. To go from that to nothing working. I know it's not one of my guys going, and and doing something intentionally. So shit got fucked up. Bullshit. Shuli told me privately. The assholes claim they did.
Son of a bitches.
In hindsight, wouldn't have it been better to get out in front of the audience and do crowd work, etc., while the sound was fixed? Jimmy, I was up on stage. I was talking with the audience. I
went up a little bit. I was talking to him too, but there's
Yeah.
no microphone. The microphones were being fixed, so there's only so much you can do.
So then we start doing mime work, me and Mike. They didn't like that. Mike starts walking against the wind. They're ready to fucking kill him. So we said, screw it, you know? I'm starting to think Ray isn't just pretending to be an oblivious boob. Here's $2 to make up for 4. Thank you, Galactic. Is Ray an alcoholic? Can you send him to AA as a bit? Imagine the different Ray we get when he quits drinking.
Yeah, if
That's
he walks
almost
into the AA meeting, where am I staying? Oh, it's just a meeting. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't-
but I got all my stuff in the
Yeah.
car. Is it cool? I think Shuli just called Ray Machiavellian. Yes, Carlos. Carlos, you're on the next show. Enough Ray. He can't be the most interesting thing that happened. And if he is, then we're all doomed. No, you're right. Henrik, 119 knock. I'd love to have been there. The fans appreciate it. Thank you, Henrik. And the fans that were there did, you know, and the ones that were there doing undercover work, they'll tell you they had a good time. And if they didn't, then they sat around at a thing that they hated for fucking almost 4 hours. So
It's amazing.
it's amazing. I had a blast. Worth the trip. Everyone had fun until 12:30. That's the other thing. Fucking meet and greet went forever. People go,
Yeah.
well, Perry had the longest line. Of course he did. Do you think? Do you not understand that we did this with Perry? Because A, we're fans of Perry. We want to see him back on stage. We want to see him touring and coming face to face with his fans. Like we got the chance to come face to face with him.
Mhm.
We know how much of a thrill that is if you're a fan of Perry. And for those of you who don't get it, you don't get it.
Right.
It's fine.
I
But
was
there's a lot-
the best part of my best part of the night was when Perry punched me. That was like my high
Oh.
point.
I mean, more fun than the podcast and the comedy show was going to Perry's Airbnb while
Oh.
they were recording Friday night
Oh yeah.
and being a part of his stream. And we were there. We got there at 10. We were there till 2.
Mhm.
That was so
4
much fun.
hours. 4 hours of it had nothing to do with us. It was his show. Julie Stock with Van Halen, Aerosmith, and an old man making a canoe from a log. If you don't think that's selling ticket, guys, go over to the canoe log stage. Max building a new one, guys. How did Casey? Oh, did Casey do? You know what I hate? Yes, Bob, talk to them. Mike, talk to them. I gotta go blow my nose.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely he did. I heard a little. I was backstage waiting, and yeah, he definitely did some. And yeah, I was there for the after about 30 minutes, but my migraine was just killing me, and I had to fucking. I was going home that night, and it was brutal.
Really?
Barbara doses 499. It wasn't Ultima. No one was killed. Chill out, people. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I definitely thought it was really good. The crowd was great.
It was a great vibe going on. Everybody seemed to be having a great time. You know, people who knew us, people who knew Perry,
Mhm.
all got together, and you know, it was an amazing crowd, man. They
Yeah.
enjoyed it from start to finish.
Oh no, there's no doubt about that.
What happened?
No,
Just saying how the
people
crowd
loved
enjoyed
it
it
that
from
were
start
there.
to
I mean,
finish. It was
yeah.
Heard Cardiff shit to bed. You done with that hack? No, not done with Cardiff. Not ever. Not now.
You heard incorrectly.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He did just fine. Believe me, nobody died up there. I don't think.
No, I think everybody
No.
did well.
There's nobody we had to pull off stage and rescue.
Yeah.
Didn't Ray get hit by a truck a few years ago? Cut him some slack. Can't believe you got Perry to smoke, Bob. Yeah. Like there's so
Yeah.
many amazing things that happened over the weekend. Oh, hold on. My $400 appearance check just bounced. I want a new check and 35.
Mhm.
I'll see you in court, you son of a bitch. Luke B, best show ever. It was great meeting you all. Also great to hang out with Mammy and meeting Bobby Fran.
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby's a really down to earth guy. I
Mhm.
like him.
Yeah.
I seen him at Abel's wedding. We hung out and that.
Daniel C. Shuli's that guy who smokes too much weed and thinks that everything pops into his head is the best idea ever.
Mm.
But sometimes it is the best idea.
Yeah, sometimes it's the weed's fault. But we're gonna keep smoking weed and thinking of shit, buddy.
Mhm.
That's how it works, you know. I'd rather do that than sit there and write about people doing stuff.
It's so funny that people thought I was. I took a bag of edibles.
Yeah.
I probably took less than I usually take. I was taking.
There's nothing in that
take a
bag.
little piece out.
There was nothing in that bag, Bob. I know what you
It
got
was little
in the
pieces.
mail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
like,
just little pieces.
and also I love that they think that I'd let you go on stage shit faced and fucking drunk and stoned, and then I'm just gonna be like, have a good night, Bob. Get home safe later. The two Shuleys at Perry's. Oh yeah, we actually had three Shuleys.
Three Shuleys.
We had Austin and Stut Joe, and I would just take my hoodie off and my hat, and I gave it to them, and then they would walk up to Perry and ask him a question, and Bob be like, "Oh, Shuley has a question for." It's like Austin's dressed as me, Stut Joe's dressed as me. Yeah, it was great. Perry's a legend. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
Chris knows. Chris is from LA. He knows the legend of Perry. Oh, Luke, I enjoyed every bit of it. Every bit of it. Shout out to where am I? Leo? Is that the guy I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'll tell you. Leon. I think it's Leon.
Leon or Leo.
Yes, Leon. Leon's the man. Leon came, brought a gift bag.
Oh yeah.
Was so excited, was so happy to meet all of us. He's been a super fan. This frog is the real Joe and his wife are an adorable, sweet, lovely couple.
They are.
Yes. But
Trying to
that'll-
make up for all
she
the
is.
bad things he said about me.
Well, only Terry Neal know that because Joe's never getting a show on here now. I'll tell you that. Didn't you guys see Perry tweaking the mixing board before the show? Yeah. Hold on, best crew. Thank you much.
Mhm.
Oh, Austin, Andy, Stud Joe, Eso Joe, love the crew. Yes. Much of the criticism completely disingenuous. Too much time on their hands. It's fine. We're not sitting here telling you everything ran perfectly. That's obvious. Hey, Victor, what's up, buddy?
Victor.
We're just telling you we tried our best to roll with it. You know, the majority of people stayed and loved it. Some people left. They weren't having it with the delay. I get it. I don't know that I would have stayed there for 50-minute delay. That's a lot. And believe me, it bothered me and it upset me. But again, it's something that's out of we didn't do it. It's not our fault. We're trying our best to adjust to it. Me getting pissed at the crew that's trying to fix it, none of it makes sense. You just gotta fucking go hit a pillow somewhere.
But like,
and
did
move
they think they
forward.
were going to leave at 7 or 7:30 that night? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it doesn't. That doesn't make sense because it was a long event even when it started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. If they knew it's a podcast and then a comedy show. Yeah. You're assuming they've blocked out the night to be there.
It is all your fault. Real leaders own failures. I don't want to be a leader. I just thought it was funny and stupid to name it the Shuley Network. I don't want to do any of this. Thank you. Mike Morse is the glue that held the night together.
Well, listen, I can't deny that.
Mike's been getting a lot of crap online lately, but I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of that. Now, I got to tell you, Mike had a great set. Mike did great last
I had
night.
fun. I had fun.
And I kind of buried him a little bit by introducing him as the best. I go, some have said he is the best third mic in all of broadcasting. Chance you got it from Mike Moore. Came out, killed it. Did great. I was happy with everybody. I was happy with everything. Yeah. Look, the shit that worked, I'm thrilled with. The shit that didn't, I wasn't,
Yeah.
but nothing I can do about it, you know?
Thank God Perry had his bag with him because I go, who's got aspirin? And he's like, how many you need? Because he loves to give out stuff.
Fanny
when he-
pack you're talking
Yeah,
about. Fanny
yeah.
I've never seen a fanny pack that big before.
I've never seen one that heavy. I got to wear it, and it's about 15 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. What are the odds of Stut Joe's tweets or broadcasts this failure of a show? Well, I saw he already retweeted a picture of empty seats in the back and was like goofing on it. Like this guy was if you took a picture of John on stage at his last gig, you would shoot it through a potato bar buffet. You understand? Like, John, you can, if it makes you feel better, buddy, sure. Nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. Nobody made money. Nobody's asking for a next one. Nobody's coming to the West Coast. Nobody's gonna fucking walk into Pickwick Pub and fucking own that shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, none of those things are gonna happen. No, I'm not playing it.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, ZZ Johnson was right about you, Shuli. ZZ Johnson, they call him now. Mike Morris, loved your song in Pottstown. When is the single available?
So thank you. I will have to make it
Just
available.
Just send it to her. Nobody's asking for it.
Now, when Ray was talking to you guys after the show, like what happened after the show with him? Like that's what I don't, because I left.
Oh, so he comes up to her. He goes, "Hey," he goes. So the meet and greet's happening, and I'm walking around, and I'm talking to people and thanking them for coming out and taking pictures and stuff. And he goes, "Hey, so Bob said I can crash at the." He goes, "Oh, I went and asked Joe if I could crash at the house tonight. I bring my stuff." And Joe said, "There's no room because there isn't. We roll with a fucking large crew."
Mhm.
And so I'm like, "Yeah." I said that we don't really have a spot. And he goes, "Well, Bob told me I can sleep at the house. That's fucked up." I said, "Well, you got to take that up with Bob. I didn't know anything about it." I said, "Do you want to come sleep on the floor of a
Yeah,
house?"
I mean,
Because
he
that's all
could
I
have slept
can
on
offer
a
you."
chair, or a bed, or not a bed, a couch, or whatever.
Yeah, but also here's the thing. It's 12. It's almost 1:00 in the morning. We got an hour drive to get back to the place. My flight leaves at 6:30 a.m., which
Wow.
means I got to be up at 4 and drive into the airport. So now I'm gonna, it's like it ain't the right time, Ray. It's nothing personal. It ain't, and it's not like Ray was homeless. He just drove back home. He just went home. That's all.
Right. Yeah, it's not that far. It'd been about 2 hours.
Thank you, James. We all speak
Listen,
your name.
I apologize.
Towards Ray's bonus for doing Pottstown after shows last night, which provided 30 minutes of opening material for his show. Yeah, so that's that. Cardiff Electric and Ray killed on the post show. El Horrible hosted. He's good for a 16-year-old boy. Roy couldn't make it. Yeah, he'll make it to the next one, buddy. Like I said, West Coast is next.
Yeah,
we got a plan in place. It's gonna be a couple spots. I think LA, San Diego. I don't know where we're starting, but I know it ain't gonna be as big of a lineup as it was in Pottstown. That's for sure. We're gonna have to save those shows for like special occasions,
Yeah.
And then the rest we're gonna have to streamline this show.
Lean and mean.
Yeah, if we're gonna take it on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Who's skipping a super chat? Not in my world.
Yeah, it was just weird that Ray was so confused. You know what I mean, about everything. Then he got a hotel. He said,
"Oh, he did."
That's what he said. So I'll send him the money for it because
there you go.
I'm not listening to this shit.
Anyone who complains about a 5-hour show for $40 should have put their pink panties on and gone seen Taylor Swift on Saturday. Boom! Jack Zim.
Exactly.
Dropping
That's
it
the only
down.
super chat that we didn't get to.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tiberius. We got it. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for looking out.
Now, where does Ray live?
He was in Queens. He was
Queens.
staying.
So that's probably about 2 hours. I mean, it's not a terrible ride.
No, I mean, I drove home. It was like an hour and 10, and it was nothing.
Right.
And that was with a migraine I drove, but it wasn't. When I got out of the car, I was fucking really in pain.
Well, put that back up. Don't bring Kumia to Cali. We don't take kindly to racists out here. Really? You don't? Funny. Grew up in Cali.
I guess it depends
Chad,
on the town.
Did Chad do the Walmart? Chad was not with us. Chad was on his own. Hold on. What is this one? It's funny. Everyone craps on the network part of the Shuli network. Can we get more inclusive names like Shuli's Auschwitz? All Jews welcome. I mean, we could. I think the Auschwitz thing's been done, but
Podcasting will set you free.
Yeah, and people came from all over the country too, which was cool.
Bob's a
Was.
good guy and says he will cover it. Shuli was ignoring it. Would have said, well, that's on him. I don't know what to tell you, man. How many times are you gonna fucking hold people's hands in life when they make mistakes?
Mhm.
Like, how are people gonna learn if they don't have to eat a bite or two of that shit sandwich?
I just don't know, truthfully, from being in this business a long time, I don't know how a booker can handle dealing with that stuff. I know I wouldn't bother with anybody again after that, something like that.
And we actually went over this about a month ago with Ray when it unfolded on MLC that he wasn't going to be on the pod or the stand-up lineup. And I said to Ray, and no offense, Bob, you know I love you, but when he's like, Bob said, I'm like, that doesn't matter until you hear it from Shuli. Whatever Bob says is what Bob says. Shuli will let you know what's going on.
But he doesn't come and talk to me about anything. He doesn't run by me a week, 2 weeks, a day before the show. Hey, I'm staying with you guys, right? It's always in that moment, in that minute. I have all my shit in my car. I need to go to your guys' house. I need the keys. I need this. And I'm like, I need mics and audio to work. That's what I'm focused on, not Ray's computer in his car.
What do you need his computer for?
I don't know, because he does podcasts every second of every day. Did anyone request a refund? I'm not sure. Joel did not come up to me and say, it was never at a point where they're like, everybody's asking for a refund. It wasn't the case. Wasn't the case. So no, not that I know, but it wouldn't surprise me if a couple of people wanted their money back. Like I said, it was a 50-minute delay.
That still is weird though, because you've made the commitment,
right?
You've paid the money, you're there, and I could say an hour and a half, even a little over an hour, but under an hour, you're that impatient. That's really fucking weird.
Right. Oh my God. Can we talk about? I did use 200 from the 400. I was paid to compensate High Pitch. The room you booked for us at Valley Forge Hotel was amazing. Thank you again. You're welcome, Guinea. And I got to say that he sent me a video. The funniest thing, Vinny got up early and was leaving the hotel room, and Eric was sleeping in the bed. And Vinny turns up the heat because Eric loves cold in the room when he sleeps because he's 900 pounds. So Vinny turns up the heater in the room to 80 and walks out and leaves. Toronto. If you don't think Toronto's on that fucking list, Victor, you're out of your mind, dude.
I love Toronto.
Toronto, then stop saying it with the T if you love it so much.
Toronto.
Mike's off the show. We can't bring him now. They're going to tear you apart.
Well, are we going to go to Montreal?
You prick. Toronto has some of the greatest fans of all time, man. Killers, Block Party, Artie shows, any of those shows we did, always packed, always super nice. Yeah, for sure Toronto's on the list. For sure. Love it out there. Shout out.
Yeah, it's a killer time.
Julie, what was your worst experience with a venue? Well, that's a good question. I mean, you'd have to go back to the Killer Comedy runs, maybe. There were some weird ones. Like there was, and it was nothing on their part, but I played that club that Dimebag Darrell from Pantera was killed in Ohio. We did a few shows out there.
Yeah.
And the clubs that was only the second worst thing that ever happened there after you were done.
Yeah, they were like they closed after my set. They sold the business. No, they weird part there was they still had the bullet holes in the walls. Like they didn't.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy, right? Remember that, Bob?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, it's almost like a tourist thing. They're like, so here's where the cops bullet went. Here's where the guys bullet. And they're kind of like giving you a tour before, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready to make people laugh now.
Be funny.
Guys,
and Seattle was bad too. Seattle, the guy said he had 400 seats. He had him in one room, and then he had him, and then we had to basically everybody was just standing, just crushed.
Those were the Sequoia specials.
Yeah,
is he would go, bro? It's like room set up, Seats 400. It's gonna be great. We walk in, not one chair. It's all standing room only. It's just a rock club and a mosh pit. You know, it's basically.
And the guy's going, but they can stand in the other room and watch it on TV. And I go, people did not fucking come to watch it on TV.
And then they just start talking because they're bored. They're fucking. They can't see it. They can't experience it like they want to. They're standing. Whenever you have audiences standing, they will start to talk.
Right.
That's it. That's it. So it was fucking.
Yeah, can we send Ray a link? I'd like to hear.
Send him a link.
Yeah, send him.
Y'all want to take a break first?
Yeah, let's take a break.
And send him a link.
I gotta turn the air on. I'm sweating my balls off. And then we'll come back and let's get Ray. And send Vinny a link too. What the hell? Let's have fun.
Folks, I'd like to talk to you about a new sponsor joining the Shuli Network, and that is HelloFresh. What is HelloFresh, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. You get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. That means you get to skip trips to the grocery store, and you count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh sent over a lovely package of various meals. And a little fun fact about me, I can't stand cooking. I hate it because I suck at it. The minute I get back there and I start having to do ingredients and measurements, I don't know what happens. I choke, I bomb, I blow it every time. Except with HelloFresh. Not only did I make all the meals, made them with my kids, with my wife. I was telling everybody what to do because it's easy. You got a card right there. It tells you exactly what to do. Everything's portioned out. Everything's separated. It's Shuli proof. And now we're in April, and that is Earth Month. And HelloFresh is always committed to a cleaner planet. On average, HelloFresh meals have 31% lower carbon footprint than the same meals made from the supermarket ingredients. Not to mention, HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% cheaper than takeout. And you're not spending all day and night in the kitchen. This is super easy to put together, usually 15 minutes or less. So you got to give them a try. You won't be disappointed. All you got to do, go to HelloFresh.com/Shuli50, SHULI50, and use code Shuli50. You get 50% off. Plus, your first box ships free. So again, just go to HelloFresh.com/SHULI50 and use that code Shuli50 for 50% off, and your first box is ship free. You can't get better than that. They're the best. That's why they're on the best network, the Shuli Network. Thank you, HelloFresh. Let's get back to the show. Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? Manscaped is here to ensure your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be the guy at the beach with the Austin Powers chest hair. And if you grew some winter man tits, the least you can do is make sure they're hairless. It's time to get ready for hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with your code SHULISHOW. Manscaped is dedicated to helping you increase your confidence. Level up your full body grooming game with Performance Package 4.0. The Performance Package 4.0 kit comes with the Essential Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer. It also comes with a ton of liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. Whether you're trimming your chest or the treasure chest in your pants, this is the best trimmer on the market. The trimmer's got a ceramic blade designed to cut hair on loose skin and reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology. You can even trim an arrow pointing down to the promised land if you're bold enough. But really, if you gotta point it out to them, your partner's an idiot. Inside the Performance Package, you also find Manscaped's Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer because it's summer, and you know how painful chafing can be when you're wearing a bathing suit all day, right? And you know what else people don't like? Nose hair. So their package also comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0. Did I mention you get 2 free gifts? the Shed Travel Bag, and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers, which are my favorite. Wear them religiously. In fact, I don't even wash them. Oh, by the way, if you're wearing sandals, I'm not going to lecture you about it, but I will tell you that you need to get Manscaped Shears 2.0 Nail Kit. Not a good look to be wearing sandals and picking up trash while wearing sandals. Having the right tools for grooming is essential, so do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. So not only will you be getting the right tools, but you'll also be getting 20% off plus free shipping with the code Shuli Show at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Shuli Show, SHULISHOW, at manscaped.com. Trim your chesticles with the besticles. You'll love Manscaped, and we love you, Manscaped, for supporting the show. Let's get back to the show.
Thank you to Manscaped, HelloFresh. Thank you to our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Admiral Dewey, patience fans, or your fucking garbage. All right.
Interesting take.
Yeah, I don't know where I should stand on that, but did somebody gift more subs, boys?
I wasn't watching the chat, so I don't know.
There you go. Crew's batting 1,000.
I was sending Ray and Vinny the link.
Yeah. Was there nobody else on this 13-person staff that can, just keep an eye on the chat and let us know when somebody's gifted? Because I don't need any more Jew jokes.
It doesn't look like it.
Thank you. Manscaped and HelloFresh. Is this a true crime podcast? I wish we had the numbers of a true crime podcast, but we'll take the sponsors. Yeah.
People love that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why. I love watching it.
Can you get Mike Buschetti? Can Mike get Mike Buschetti? Mike is the only one that is standing in Buschetti's way of bookings. Jesus Christ, Joe, this isn't Ray's podcast. Get it together. I mean, you're on the clock, Froggy. Yes, since Manscaped's come along, Bob's pubes look fantastic.
Thank you, Barmart.
Yeah. Scott. If someone gifted me a sub to the Shuli Network, I'd ask what the return policy is. Meanwhile, it's going on an hour and 27 minutes. You've watched this show that you can't stand. So love you guys, but damn, you expect a lot out of your West Coast fans to be up at 6 a.m. for a BS show? No, because unlike other people, we don't run and put this behind a paywall when it's done. It's up and it's available for you to watch on the YouTube channel at any time.
Mm-hmm.
BS show, we do live and free, I think 4 days or 3 days.
4 days, yeah.
4 days, and then the 5th day we do just behind the paywall. And right now, these are the times, It's nothing personal, brother.
Yeah, we'll be doing stuff tonight.
Yes, yes, paywall stuff tonight, right? We got to get some paywall stuff in.
Got to get some stuff up there.
Yeah. Give Brian the link. I think Brian's done enough shows. It's kind of old news by now. That's what I was trying to tell Kevin. It's like even if I wanted to have him on the show now, I've heard his dumb complaint a million times. Like, and now what? And where we're gonna go from there? It's over. He got what he wanted out of it. People to pay attention to him. Well, good for him. I love the 6 a.m. start time in LA. I can work 9 to 5 and not miss the show. There you go.
And this is a man who names shows on this network.
That is true.
Oh, yeah.
I come in peace. Oh, well, thank you, Brian. Thank you. I don't know that that's the real guy. I doubt it. But
thank you, Rob.
Bob killed it at Pottstown.
Mm-hmm.
He did. When is the 4K special edition of Vulgar coming out? Sheriff Brackett wants to know. Oh, and speaking of, we have a ton of footage from this weekend, right?
Speaking of vulgar.
Yeah. What do we got? JoJo and boys back there, young boys, shirt on.
There's all kinds of footage. So you'd referenced earlier how we were over at Perry's Airbnb for near 5 hours or whatever it wound up being. And We have some footage of Tony Hawk getting tased. We have videos
We have
of
anything we can kind of show right now? A little tease, a little.
Yeah, I think if you give me a second, I could pull something up.
Yeah, all those guys were great people, you know.
They really are.
Oh
total
yeah, they
professionals.
were awesome.
There was Joey Garrett, right?
Yeah.
Was another guy. Will.
Will.
Tom.
Tom, yeah.
Tom. We can't say enough about Tom.
Yeah.
And I reached out. Well, by the way, Perry's going to be on Kumia today.
By the way,
By the way.
Mhm.
And hold on, let me check my DM.
And he's going to be
What's
on
up,
the
guys?
Chrissy Mayer.
Hey, buddy. How you
He's
doing?
gonna be on what?
Chrissy Mayer show.
And I'm waiting to hear back from Legion of Skanks if he's going on there, because I reached out to Bobby Hutch and let him know they got one more day in New York City and they're doing shows. So if you want, and I know
Yeah,
Jay's
that'd be great.
a huge Perry fan. Him
Jay
on
knew
Skanks,
all about him.
yeah, him on Skanks would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
hopefully,
there's nobody like Perry. Meeting him was just amazing, you know,
Mhm.
and how much they care for him, and you know, trying to get him a house and all that. It's just, it's amazing, you know. I just hope he blows up even bigger. I think he can sell fucking 800 seats or more within a year. If he,
less than
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
Less than that. If we did, yeah, we're already talking. Tom, all of us. There's shit that's gonna go down, man. It's gonna be great. Perry was tearing up on a show last night from everyone making him feel so
Yeah.
special. Very sweet. Yeah, it was. Made him feel
he
good.
brings a lot of happiness to people. He gets people through the days, you know, that if they're not having a good day or whatever. But it's amazing. I'm totally hooked since I've been catching him.
I love the Jake Hudson song so much, says Chim Pachelta. Thank you. So do we.
What's up,
Is there
guys?
fucking another one? This one is just fucking so fucking every second. Fucking
Don't talk to us. Talk to Jake. Have him come up with a new fucking song.
Jake, another song, baby.
I mean, what happened? What happened? You getting a fight on the way home? What happened over here?
I put a cigarette in my mouth backwards.
Maybe you were a little fucked up that night.
No, I wasn't. I just
Wait a
I
minute.
was
This
just
is
fucking
this is somebody. One of Perry's fans sent pickle. Perry hates pickles.
mhm.
They sent pickled flavored cotton candy, and Bob and Perry kept going. Bob kept doing Lady in the Tramp with him, putting food in his mouth and sharing it with Perry. And Perry's got a dumb Annie wig on. Check this out.
So put it down your pants and pretend you have green
Perry,
Perry,
Perry, Perry.
That was horrible fucking cotton candy.
doing this.
Gross.
It's the official food of Potsdam.
He's incredible.
Sorry, I just have to grab a screenshot of that real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Oh,
Oh, so good. That was the most tame part of that.
yeah.
I just remember Tony Hawk getting tased,
Yeah.
falling on Perry. Oh, here we go. Here's another.
Well, he hates pickles.
Tom, here, I got
Yeah,
it, buddy.
there you go.
Oh, wait, are there
Pickles
pickles?
all around. Pickles all around.
Yeah, we'll all have a pickle.
No.
Here, Bob, could I have one of those?
If you're not gonna have a pickle, Perry,
Is there ice
pass
cream
the
and
skill,
pickles?
pass the
Oh,
skill.
yeah, awesome.
I don't
Thank
eat
you so
this
much.
garbage. It's too fucking sweet for my fucking body.
That was a great clip of you, Joe. Anything else?
That's the girl that hugged him. Yeah. Oh no.
All right, Joe. Maybe we should look through some of these before we bring them out and play them. That was the most anticlimactic fucking pizza. Oh, to stay. Maybe they're right. Maybe this show did suck.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I was in a fever dream.
No,
We have
it
somebody
didn't.
backstage who might be able to shed some light on all this.
Where is?
Hey, what's up, Vince?
Hey,
What's going on, guys?
What's
Do you
that,
want us to
brother?
let you set up your green screen and then come back to you?
That's up your audio.
Download now?
What's that? You're breaking up a little bit, buddy.
He's trying to shit on us about our audio issues while he's having audio
Can you hear
issues.
it?
Oh. Man, you're having audio issues, pal. Let's get a solo of this.
Not on my end.
Oh, it was. It was on your
Not
end.
on my end. I love
Everything-
download now.
My guys only fuck up live shows, not these. Vince, pleasure to see you, my friend. It was so good to see you over the weekend. And my first thought was, man, this motherfucker's working out. Vince is looking ripped these days. And he's a good kisser. And then the other
Thank you.
part.
All right, so
Yeah, go ahead. See, I'm not doing anything.
can you hear okay?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Why don't you log
Go
out,
out,
come back
come
in,
back.
and then shit on us for not having our shit together? All right. Thank you.
Well, that was the worst troll of all time.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
Suck. Awful. All right, let's try it. Is he back or did he leave?
No, he never left.
In?
No.
I never left. You there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me or no?
Yeah, but you keep breaking up. I'm not doing a bit for real. Your connection's not great. You keep freezing and
Neither am I.
lagging.
All right. I'm out of here.
All right, sorry, pal. I want him on. I just nothing I can do. It's his connection. I'm not.
He didn't take that well.
He didn't, because he's here to fuck with us about our connection not being well, and God has said you're in the same boat, fucker. So don't talk shit. His tight shirt has compressed his diaphragm so much.
He is a big little fucker, huh?
Yeah. He
He's
is
a great guy.
man.
He really is a nice guy.
He's a great guy. Absolutely.
What happened to Ray? Is he on his way home or?
Ray's not up this way. Ray drinks every night. I mean, you think he's up at 9 a.m.?
It's
Unless somebody's
10:44.
paying him to get up that early, he ain't getting up.
He's got to be up by now.
Try him.
Let me.
Yeah. Text him.
Tell Vinny not to buy his shirts at Baby Gap. All right. How dare. That's my friend. Shuli Network is still drinking and not checking video and equipment. Seat of the pants operating procedure. Sorry, pal. Admiral Dewey, you couldn't be more right. This stat, I'm gonna bust some heads. I'm gonna do some Three Stooges type shit in the production room.
Hammer's coming down.
Hammer's coming down. This ain't a free ride anymore, boys. That's when I get mad at the staff. That's the voice I use. I go, what's the technical issues about? I do that. I figure, because what's going to get you to move? You know, me going, hey, guys, Nasally Jew here. Let's get it together. Or I turn, what's going on?
And when you hear that voice in the next room, you leave immediately so you don't get hit with the shrapnel.
Go ahead.
Hey, Bob. The Meat Man wanted to thank you personally for negotiating the purchase of his super VIP ticket. We know that was not available on
Look at Perry's
online
face.
at theshulinetwork.com. That was only for special VIPs. He just wants to clarify that the perks of super VIP ticket entail. Tell me if any of this is incorrect or if anything's missing. Okay. For super VIP, there will be a cot in the back of the comedy club for Perry and the Meat Man to cuddle and fool around with.
Fuck you! That'll never fucking happen!
For at least an hour before the meet and greet.
That is correct.
Okay.
It's only an hour.
All right.
Go fuck off! all
Another
of you.
clarification. The Meat Man will get to perform stand-up of his own.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. You guys will break out a Yamaha keyboard and a skipper hat and have Perry and the Meat Man perform Love Will Keep Us Together. To
Go
close
kiss
the show.
my motherfucking ass! You fucking losers!
And lastly,
You want to end my fucking career right the fuck now?
And lastly,
Because I'll end it right now, right here!
And lastly, he gets
By
to-
saying his favorite fucking word!
And lastly,
pause,
he
pause
gets
it for a
to
sec.
Yeah.
I love listening to the echo because we're in the mountains there, and it was
Yeah.
just bouncing all over. Like you had to hear him from 5 miles away.
You had
Easily.
to.
Either fuck you, and it's just bouncing off of mountains. So true. Go ahead.
chaperone the date Perry has with the dating game contestant who wins.
By the way, pause it. Have you guys noticed that Bob and Perry have switched jackets? By the way, he's wearing Bob's jacket, and Bob's wearing Perry's. Go ahead.
If they sit too close together, I can threaten her. Is confirmation all that, Bob?
Yeah, I mean that's part of the dating game, but you know, it'll probably be
If
a
you
nice guy.
fucking do this shit to me with this gay garbage, I will fucking drop out right the fuck now.
It's not that.
And you send me home.
It's not that.
I love Bob. It's not that bad. It's not that bad because I don't want any gay garbage. Bob goes, it's not that bad. You'll be fine.
It'll go fast.
That's funny.
Yeah, we had the staff dress up like me and kept thinking it was me coming up to him. He thought Mike was Jackie the entire weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every time Mike tried something, he'd go, Jackie. Jackie yell, he goes, Jackie, stop it.
And every time he said anything about pickles, like I'd hand him the jar of pickles. No pickles.
Anytime. At one point, Tom tried, like I could. Oh no, it was it was the McDonald's delivery of eight large Sprites.
Oh man,
it was podcast.
he fucking hates Sprite and he hates pickles like I've never seen.
So of course I bring out the. Oh, here we go. What is this one now?
God fucking damn you, son of a bitch! Stop this shit!
Deck down, Barry. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Stop being
No!
Barry, sit down. If you sit down, we'll give you a pickle. Sit down.
Oh, Barry.
I'm gonna zap you.
All right, hold on.
Have a cigarette and calm
Top
down.
of that fucking page.
Fucking poisoning motherfucker!
They are.
Tom has a taser on him, like a lion tamer with a whip.
Right.
Anytime Perry gets out of hand, he goes, Perry. And of course, the only one getting tased that weekend was Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Getting in the way and getting tased.
Oh, wow.
That was great. What do we got here? I ordered today and Rustic Cuts delivered yesterday. That's how fast they are. Thank you.
Nice.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Rustic Cuts. What is it? .cb? Is that their website? Some weird fucking. They're changing that. But yeah.
It's worth tracking it down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, there's nothing funnier than fucking with a paranoid schizophrenic. You guys are the kings of comedy. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. And on behalf of Carl, could you get a better picture? I think he would agree with me on that. Yeah. So, anybody here a kid toucher? Well, all right. I mean, and on that
Barry
note,
had a time of his life. He really did. You know, he gets mad. He's happy. He was crying. You know, everything. So it just kept going in a circle, and it was amazing. And when he took the stage, he did own the stage. There's no doubt about it. You know,
no matter how many deliveries came up on that stage, he owned it.
Yeah, and he was worried about if he could do enough time for the 10 minutes, and he ended up doing what, a half hour?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jackie the Jokeman.
Today. So this is from Soviet Code. These are more questions, and I think I didn't get to finish them earlier. Okay. So we asked questions 1 and 2, and I'll just repeat them again, but you don't have to answer them because you already addressed them. Question number 1. Perry, why is Tony Hawk trying to get sexual with you? Question number 2, Tony, can you grab something at Perry's and throw it off the patio? Which we did
Already
earlier.
done that.
We did that earlier. Okay, now, question 3. Perry, I got a boner watching you slurp down those cheese steaks.
Oh my god.
It was a sight.
You did inhale them. You did
It
inhale
was
them.
It was very sensual.
Can you describe how good that fat, round, sweaty meat felt going slowly?
No,
down
it
your
wasn't
throat?
fat, round, sweaty meat. It was nice. Stop stuttering.
Nice meat.
It was a nice beef sandwich with cheese on it.
Take it on slow.
It was like a Chicago roast beef sandwich, but with cheese on it. Cheese and onions.
Tony, this is question number 4 for Tony. Tony, can you please jiggle Perry's belly or Fat Juicy Milkers as you sing a Poison song of your choice?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can do that.
Nothing but a good time. How can
It can be
Perry
great. It
be
can be
great?
Perry, just let it. It can be great.
I'm gonna give a little backstory for this. There was one night when Brett Michaels met a guy named Ron Jeremy, and he wrote a song about it.
What, at the Rainbow? Or at
It was
one
called Up Skinny Bop Bop.
Oh my God.
He introduced him to some 2 girls. Up Skinny.
He's doing the And by the way, before you guys start your, this is so cruel. He makes money doing this. He
lot.
makes more money than all of us combined.
Mhm.
So everybody's got a job to do, I guess. What can I say? Ladies and gentlemen, returning to the show, triumphant return. You know him, you love him. Creator and host of Out of the Habitat, Vince the lawyer. Vince,
Yeah.
go ahead.
That's much better.
Sorry, pal. It sounds like
He's
he's
gotta
on a
be
CB
trolling us.
radio. You got to be doing this on purpose,
He
right?
has to.
There's no way you're doing this.
It's so fucked up to take advantage of the mentally ill.
Exactly.
So
now
gain.
we hear you. Now we hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make me play the video of you turning the thermostat up to 80, fucker. Leaving Eric in that room.
When I left the room, Eric still had the ranch dressing in him. He puts the air conditioner on like 60. He didn't take a shower because we went out to the bar at the casino. Thank you, by the way. The casino was really nice that you put us up at. It's called Valley Forge. But
Valley
thank
Forge. Great
Thank
spot. Yeah.
you. Never been there before. Everything was cool. It was actually a smooth check-in process.
Yes.
But anyway, when we left, I left at 7 in the morning. I put the heat up to 80 and then baked them for about like 2.5 hours before he even woke up.
Covered in sweat, ranch dripping still. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So have you been talking about the show at all?
We did. We did.
A little bit.
People are thrown. They want to hear about the show. They also want you to explain why there's AstroTurf on your wall. I mean, people are asking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Shuli's network's still using StreamYard. It's an old service. I mean, they should have me cropped and centered, but they can't do it with the software that they're using. So we're just gonna have to do it raw. Bob, I was so impressed by your performance, and this is the high note of the night. Definitely seeing Bob, a true performer. I watched from the stands, and it was awesome to see how contemporary you were, how you control the stage, how you control the microphone, and you really control the audience as well. It was awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Very nice.
Mike, I didn't catch your show because I was behind the scenes at the time.
Sure.
So I
That's
couldn't
all right.
opinion-
You didn't miss much.
You didn't. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
a mentally challenged guy with ranch in his ass to take care of.
So we showed up around 6 o'clock, and we were told to park in the private back place. We couldn't find the place to begin with. There's no signage when you from the street, even with GPS.
Oh yeah.
In fairness, High Pitch was driving. So
I was going to say, do you think the guy who rolls around thinking he's a cop might have been confused as to where to go?
yeah, actually, Eric's calling me now. So we roll up. We were there at 6. Obviously, the biggest failure was not preparing for the audio issues. And I said it on the chat, but as the owner, you are responsible for this. Now, during the show, I was calming you down because there's nothing you can do that's going to help if you're just going to get excited with the staff. But let's face it, in reality, this can be tested 4 to 5 times, 4 days in advance, 3 days in advance, 2 days in advance. You have to put all guys out there. You can't just test it with one person. You got to do it with 4 people and look for any type of failure. And that was the issue, right? So now if you're in the audience, you're waiting for about 60 minutes for a show to start.
Sure.
That's High Pitch right there.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And, you know, it was I mean, look, we do Out of the Habitat. You test that thing 10 times before we get on. And there's been times where we've had to scrap the recording because shit's just not working. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And so, you know, it is what it is. What are we going to do?
Nothing. Also, I was super impressed with Anthony Cumia.
Oh
His
my
racist
God.
jokes are on point, but his cadence and Bob, you can attest to his performance as well. I mean, he's a professional. I didn't even know he did stand up at all.
Well, that's what,
Yeah,
that's
but
what I was
he's
talking
great
about.
on the radio, so it comes up. He's just a funny guy. Just hanging out with him, he's funny. So
Yes.
it's easier for him to get into this, and then he sees what people do moving around and that, and he got it.
Yeah,
I
and
told
then
him, I said, have you been doing shows since the last time we worked in Rochester? Because it was significantly better and tighter. And you're right, his rhythm and his flow, he was like, he was a comic up there. It was great.
Yeah.
Are you frozen, Vince?
Either that or he's really staring intently at his screen. What?
He seems to really know a lot about audio, though.
He does. He said, hey, it could be tested 20 times. Apparently, this was not. Go ahead.
He didn't take his own advice this morning.
It happens sometimes, even if you're an expert like Vince. Go ahead.
is that person talking? Was he the one in charge of the audio at the place?
Yes, that's why he's a little salty in the tongue.
Right. Seems a little defensive. Ray DeVito, he's got to go. This is just the way it is. The show was not good. The comedy was a bomb.
Vince is my efficiency expert. This is my Marcy Turk. Whose heads am I chopping off, Vince?
He's
Go.
gone. He's done. The Tony Hawk lookalike gone. I mean, sorry, it's not working. It's got to go. Casey, I spoke to him privately. I mean, he needs improvement. It's hard to get the repetitions up there when you're not really doing a lot of shows. But
That's the thing. He hasn't done stand up in, I don't know, a decade, maybe even longer. So that was a big deal for him.
now people talking about Perry. I don't know who Perry is. I still don't know who he is. Obviously, he was a draw, right? So I didn't sell any seats. Perry did. Perry had fans there. I spoke to people that booked months in advance to see Perry. It's not my thing at all. Like, I have zero interest in it. I know you guys like it. It's just not my thing. I can't even.
But that is Perry. You either get it or you don't. There's nothing in the middle, and they understand that. We understand that. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing personal.
Bob,
Cardiff wants to know what you thought of Cardiff's performance.
I didn't see the entire thing, but I guess the fact that there wasn't as many Stern fans or John Hader fans there, it probably wasn't as great.
Well, what I found surprising, goodness, Gary Combs. What I found surprising is, obviously there was a lot of people there for Perry, but when I asked how many of you listen to the how many of you never heard the Uncle Rico show, very few people clapped. So the crossover between his and our audience,
it is very big. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and they're listening. They're giving our shit a chance, which is cool, And so yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I love the audience was great too. I mean, I would never have waited half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I would never waited through the Perry thing, but I just wasn't a Perry fan. You have to tighten up the whole chaos. I mean, it's fun that it's chaotic, but there is no semblance of an order.
This is the exact conversation I was having on the way back to the house. Is I'm like, this cannot look. We wanted to do this with a bunch of friends. We wanted this to be a big thing, but you don't really realize how many moving parts you have until you're in that mix, and some shit's not going right. Some shit is. It's too much. It's too much. We can really fine tune and trim the fat and get this.
Yeah, it should be no more than 5 people.
No more than that. That's it.
Yeah, I totally agree. How does it work with Anthony Cumia, for example? I don't believe you pay him, right?
No, we paid him. He performed. We paid him.
Oh, really? I didn't think he would ask for money to perform there.
Well, he did.
He doesn't ask.
Yeah, we just say, hey, do you want? Look, you're asking somebody to do stand up, then you pay them for it. That's just a no brainer.
Interesting. So, how many tickets did you eventually sell?
I think we were at 370, 360 something when the show started. Yeah.
I would have put the count a little bit more than that. I was going to say about 500 to 600.
Nah, listen, we started out the gate selling a fuck ton of tickets to this thing, and we had people from over 31 states come out for this show. To Pottstown. It's not like we're in LA or Boston or Chicago. We're in fucking Pottstown, and 31 different states people came out from.
Why did you choose Pottstown?
Because the venue, I know the venue. I know Joel. I've known him for years. I work with Joel, and we wanted a venue that that was on the East Coast, so all of us could can get
Converge.
together, broadcast from the house we rent, because the shows I feel are much better and a lot different when we're all in the same room, right? So that I like a lot. So we're picking something with not as much overhead. Most of the talent, and yes, Mike, I mean you, is on the East Coast. So then it's just a matter of flying me out there and a couple of the guys from the crew. And so that's why we picked there. But next is West Coast.
Yeah, I didn't understand the venue in terms of staff. Was there any servers there?
I don't think so. I didn't
see any. Were there any security there?
No, not that I saw.
You're lucky your fans are as cool as they are, because there could have been some issue, because I was walking around the place looking, and I'm going into every room. I mean, there are electronics there. People could have took anything could have happened at this point. And that's something obviously not necessarily for you to address, but
no, I got nervous when I saw Ray DeVito walking around untouched. That's when I was like, "Wait, anybody have their fucking way of this place, huh?"
Yeah, I never met Ray before, but apparently I was talking to you while he was on, and he either went too late or too short, or you were telling me he went too short. And for the rest of the night, he was obsessing over going too short. I'm like, dude, it was probably better you went short.
Yeah.
He didn't get that joke there.
Well, in all, you're right. But in all honesty, Ray has he's known for going over the light. He's known for blowing the light. So I think he was so in his head about blowing the light that he just fucking went early. You know what I mean?
But it was an easy sign. You would get a light at a certain time, and then you go into your last bit, maybe. That it's not hard thinking.
Yeah.
Where was that light? I didn't see that.
It was right in the back by the camera, set up in the back behind the chairs. It was our boy Austin. He was timing everybody, giving everybody the light. And so, yeah, it was the same for every single other person who got off stage without a problem right when their time was up.
Ray got the same instructions as everyone else. At 8 minutes, you would get the light. That means you have 2 minutes left.
Right. Exactly.
So Casey updates. He's still good looking, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And then he lost a lot of weight / muscle. Not to say that he isn't muscular still, but he definitely is probably down to maybe less than 200 pounds, I would say.
Look at you. You're an expert now. That you're the attorney bodybuilder over here, Vince.
Yeah, Casey and I grew up kind of close together as well. Same thing with Stuttering John. I mean, it's a hotbed for comedy where we grew up. So then when I saw Casey, he wasn't drinking, which is great, but he is gambling worse than ever.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I had asked him about the show relating to when he lost $320,000. Well, he won $320,000 and then lost it all before he came
real quick, for people who may not know the story, Casey gambling online gambling. This was really when it first kind of blew up, right, Vince? The online gambling thing. I believe he was playing Caribbean stud poker, or what was it?
It was a different version of that poker. And the name's slipping right now, but it's a 5-card poker game. It's a table poker game. It's not poker against other people. He won. People would know it. It's not 3-card poker. It's another version of it that was popular at the time. Regardless, he was betting $150 a hand, and he won. He actually hit a royal flush, a straight up royal flush.
Best hand you can get in poker, right?
Yep. And he told me, he's like, it was amazing. It's the best feeling in the world. Now, it's like you're talking to an addict. And I was speaking with him. He's like, it's the best. I still remember it. I see the number, my balance just keep going up and up and up. And eventually it stopped at $320,000. So the thing with the offshore books is they don't allow you to withdraw the money all at once. In fact, some of them only have like a $5,000 limit per week.
Really?
Yeah. So Casey told me that if they would give him $9,900.
Well, I mean, hold on, think about it. That's genius, right? Because if they let you take it, you're never giving that money back. So they're like, we'll give you a crumb every day or every week, and odds are you're burnt. You're gonna put this back in. You cannot say no. It's too easy.
It's 100% true, and it's built in there for that exact reason. With that money in there, he had an opportunity to bring people to Costa Rica and pick up $9,900 each. He said there would be like 6 people maximum.
But I mean, that's like an invite to a mugging. You know, it's like.
So with that, gambling leads to a lot of other addictions, and it's with the drinking and with the drugs that he had, the problems he had, on top of the mental illness. So I look at his screen, and he's playing online casino and for money. So because we're in Pennsylvania, he was using either FanDuel or DraftKings to just gamble the whole time. And then I go, Casey, you know what I loved about your show? I love that you had a hook. I love hooks. So do you know what I hate? Now, I don't know. And I told him, he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, you should do it. Now, I don't, and I heard him do it initially, and then he started writing. So now he starts to panic. I believe I'm watching him panic and gamble and write at the same time. So,
the mark of any great artist, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he asked me to do his show on Thursday. I'm like, I got to run it by the boss. I don't know if he wants to you copying his show or something like that. But
do it, Vinny. I give you permission.
So I watched him from the audience too, and Bob, maybe there's something in this that you can speak to, because there is no stand-up school, but I do teach lawyers to give presentations. With lawyers and comedians are almost the same thing. You have to perform to an audience, and this audience is less, and they're the ones who's deciding whether you get paid or not. Like, you shanked your audience for the $40. Even if you failed, you're still getting paid for the most part, right? But for a jury to give a plaintiff's attorney money, they have to believe you and understand the story. It's got to be conveyed in a nice, simple manner. But to KC, Bob, to this point, I hate when comedians let the mic control them. So they go up to the mic and they stand behind it, and they don't ever take the mic out and walk around with it.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, but Stuttering John has the same issue too. Is there something in comedy that they deal with how to control the mic?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, take the mic out, put the stand behind you, pace the stage, look at different sections, because you're playing to everybody. So you have to make eye contact with them, and you have to own the stage. If you own the stage, you have to look like you belong there, that people are paying for you.
This is something that I remember being on the road, us with Colin, and Colin pulling me aside and going, when he goes, because I was just standing there, I'd move the mic stand, and I'd stand there and do my jokes, and he'd go, he says, if you move back and forth on stage, people will think you're a professional and that you belong up there because you're confident and you look like you know what you're doing by pacing. And he's 100% right. He's 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of the critiques I wrote down for Casey. Still good looking, gambling, no drinking. Oh, the sad part was, this is sad.
I love this sheriff says, how is this guy a friend? Consistently getting shots in.
I have no friends, obviously. Casey, I was standing behind him, and he's sitting at a table, and he had his books there, and he's waiting for you guys to finish. Now, for some reason, you went on for another hour with Perry at the end. Now, his fans loved it, so I get why you're doing it.
That's what I was saying. Like anybody else, I would have been like, all right, thank you guys, good night. But his fans are eating up every second. There's not one fan of his that's going, wrap it up, let's go. Right. They love it. And I would be such an asshole to pull him off stage. So yeah, go ahead.
No, you make a great point though, because I'm sitting in the back like, this is fucking annoying. I was annoyed. Like, it's like an hour, this guy, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. But you did the smart thing because you're playing to the crowd. I'm not the crowd. I'm just sitting in the back there writing down notes to make fun of you the next day, right? So it's like the crowd loved it. They were there. They didn't. Not one of them left.
Nope.
Not one. I mean, like the normal people had already left, but the Perry fans that were there were waiting, and it was good. You kept playing to them, and they never cared.
Yeah, no, the line.
And then they stayed an extra hour just to meet him.
That's what I'm saying. The line was huge to say hello to him after that. Yeah. So it's like,
yeah. So back to the Casey story.
Is that a better background for you? Are you cool with that? Go ahead.
I'm setting up so many jokes, but Casey is probably the one of us that actually kissed a guy, jerked off a guy out of all of us that I know.
I mean, allegedly, we don't know. It's some call it horseplay. Some call it horseplay.
No, he hooked up with a guy in Alaska, and then he brought the guy to the show, the Howard Stern show.
Okay.
You never heard of this?
I'm trying to listen. I'm a fan, and I listen to everything. I'm trying to remember the Alaskan guy jerk off story.
He was dressed like a woman in Alaska. It was an Oriental girl, or an Oriental guy dressed as a girl.
Okay, you can get tricked.
You guys don't know. You've never even seen picture of that or video. I mean, this guy Yeah, because it was on Howard TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta break that. You gotta come on our show, the new show we do, the Freddie Mercury show, and we gotta break that episode down. I would love to watch that with you.
Yeah, I mean Casey was arrested in Alaska for stalking his previous girlfriend, who was an actual girl, biological girl.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
I
and then he-
remember that.
and he
Yes,
goes to Alaska. He after the day in jail, he comes out, and of course, like Casey, because he's good looking, he's in Walmart, and Casey's a dog too. He'll talk to anyone that apparently even looks like a girl. He meets this Oriental girl, who he thinks is the girl. He goes back to his hotel room. He's like, "Do you want to play Scrabble?" Now, can you imagine playing Scrabble with Casey? but that's his move. And then he's like, all right, I got to take a shower. And then he comes out of the shower and he starts making out with the dude.
Right.
And he doesn't know necessarily that is a guy, but
Right.
he describes it as like, when you start kissing, it's a guy. And then eventually he doesn't even realize technically it's a guy until he's on the plane. He left them a note saying, I'm a guy, and while he's on the flight, he gets that note. And when he comes back, this is why I love KC. At least he admitted to it. Because if that ever happened to any of us, I would never admit to it in a million years.
You will never hear me see me sitting in front of AstroTurf sharing this part of my life with you guys. Never. Go ahead.
So the sad part was, though, I was watching KC and he's antsy, he's got anxiety, but he's standing behind a table with 4 copies of his book. And he was going to hawk his book right after the show, and then people coming up, and I'm a fan of KC, and there are fans of KC, and he was selling him his book and signing it as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Ray was selling merch. Did he sell any? I know he had a table back there.
Yeah,
he gave away a few download cards.
Download cards, right? Download cards. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing too, Bob. I mean, Casey came up holding his promotion flyers for the show and things that he wrote. I mean, if you're performing, I always say no notes at all. I mean, a comedian generally shouldn't have notes, but for the most
but
part,
it's been a while since he went up there, and it's like you got, it's not something he does every weekend like he used to.
And he probably did it all last minute because we were going to go over it. We never went over anything. So
yeah, and that's the hard part, I guess, for a comedian is to get the repetitions in front of an audience because it's hard to. I mean, not anyone could just walk into a show and do a few minutes like at the Shuley show, where they'll take anybody that walks in that back door, which they're calling a green room, and like if you can jump about 2 feet, because this green room was weird. You open up, it had a ledge that drops you out into the private parking lot, which is just a mud puddle of cars. So if you can get into the green room, you could do about 5 minutes at the Shuley show.
There was also a door, Vince.
Yeah, it goes away. Oh, look at that! That's in the Museum of Broadcasting.
That's a great picture.
Yeah, and all Mike, but put that back up. All Mike had to do to convince Perry that he was Jackie was put on this shirt. That's it. There's no wigs. There's no. Just go. You remember Jackie Martling? He goes, "Hey, Jack, how are you?" And he was Jack the entire weekend.
Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot of room for improvement, I think, for the next show. But then I'm thinking, like, this was such a colossal chaos that it makes it intriguing to go to the next one.
This is literally the story of the block party. Oh, that's the girl, huh?
No, it's a boy. It's a man.
But what I'm saying is, Alaska's not always bright, right? Isn't there a dark period too, where the sun doesn't come out? So that, I mean, that's going against your faith.
Might have been that cycle. Yeah,
it might have been that. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was the feel around time of year.
I mean, put that back. That kind of does look like a guy. Yeah, like
kinda.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to give him
that
a little
picture
break.
was more
Michaela looks more like a girl.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is. Yeah.
Kinda.
All right, that's a little closer.
Oh, that's great.
After all these years,
Manny
Casey hooks
Pacquiao.
up with a guy.
Well, good. You know what? Good for him. God bless. It's made him into the man he is today.
So I got a text from Eric Bob today, and he said, I want to sue Pennsylvania state troopers for racial profiling me. I'm like, what happened? He's like, they pulled me over doing 100 in a 60. I'm like, well, how is that racial profiling? He's like, he was rude to me. I was like, okay.
Eric has police lights on the back of his car. He's got a badge that he keeps in the front console for all to see. Does he still have the prop gun like an idiot? Because I've
I
told him
didn't see a gun.
I've told him stop. It's a prop gun from the set of Blue Bloods, and I'm like, stop bringing this with you. You will get killed one day. Like, stop.
Yeah, and another thing too with Eric, he doesn't buckle his seatbelt, so the alarm for the
can't.
seatbelt goes. No, he can. It goes off, and he drove for 2.5 hours with that off. Now I only drove with him 30 minutes each way, but it goes off every minute.
I mean, I don't know. That is madness to me to have that chiming for 2 hours. I would lose my fucking mind. Litigation Magazine ranked Popak 531 spots ahead of Vince in the lawyer rankings. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but that's better than I thought I was ranked. Talking funny. Too stupid to get out of jury duty. He's on par with some of this fun.
This snarky douche thinks because he can talk in front of a group of people too stupid not to get out of jury duty, he is on par with someone who is funny and entertaining on stage. Thoughts, Vince?
No, there's a difference between a comic that entertains on stage and one that performs elsewhere. So I've never was interested in performing in front of drunks, but that's just a thing. Like if you're good at it and you basically got to put in the time and the effort, and you can become good at it if you want to be, if that's something you want to do. I mean, that's a testament. I was so impressed with Bob, man, and Bob, you're so fluid out there too. You move around with such greatness. It was
truly
really,
not
really
his age.
good.
He's not his age on
Because
stage.
I never met Bob before, but just looking here, I would never expect that type of performance out of him. It was amazing. It was absolutely
He does little
amazing.
dances. He does this little.
Well, that's
little
when you
shuffling.
look, when you go on stage, it's a different thing. I mean, people paid for it, and it changes you. It changes you when you get up there, and you have to do it every time, because you don't want to let anyone go home going, "Oh, I thought it would be better," or whatever.
Right. Listen, I don't say this a lot, but I mean it. Bob is a genius. In some things, lighting
yeah,
the
no, I wouldn't go
cigarette the
that
right
far.
way, not so much.
No, I
but
dropped it on the floor and I picked it up real quick.
I wish I could have seen your face when you
No, it
picked
was
the
so
cigarette.
stupid. I think it was.
You go to take a drag and you burn. I wish I could have seen your face.
I think it was when I was going up to see Perry, or after, when I was coming down the steps, and I dropped it real quick, and I picked it up and just put it, and I was like, motherfucker.
So
I
Shirley,
just
let's
felt
go-
a burn, and I was
wanna
like,
know-
this isn't good.
Yeah.
You paid Ray DeVito 200. Is that true?
No,
3.
250.
250.
Well,
And
100 I sent him. So he ended up making 350 for the show because I ended up, I think it was 250. But either way, if it was 2 or 250, he made what he lost that weekend on the other gig.
How does it work with the venue in terms of when they pay you?
Right after the show.
In cash or check or something else?
I was
It
checked.
depends. It depends on.
Yeah. I mean, it was optional, but you know.
Yeah. Did they pay you like the amount of tickets times the price or something that you worked out, or is it different?
No, usually it's a door deal. It's a split, right? So it's a percentage split, and they give us our percentage, they take their percentage, and out of our percentage, everybody that was booked gets paid.
Were they selling alcohol there?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, because I didn't see any service.
Coors
but I know-
Light.
Yeah, there was a bar in the back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's one thing that you usually, with an audience, especially a good sized audience, you need people serving, because people will walk away and go to the back, and people did that. Yeah.
Did you
My
just
voice is
light
going
a
from
cigarette in
yelling.
your throat the wrong way?
No, my voice is going from
Ian
weekend.
wants us to show the contract later. We'll do it later. Yeah.
Yeah, if I get it, I'll post a copy of that on Shoobies for sure. I've been
No,
posting.
but when you're there, when you're on stage, the worst thing you can see is people looking around or getting up to get a drink. It's just not.
Takes them out of the moment. And then
it's
once
not a
they're
comedy
up,
thing.
And once they're up, they start talking, and
then they hung out. A lot of people hung out in the bar area because
Yeah.
they couldn't get drinks, and
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't see anyone selling at the bar area. It was one or two people that were actually working there.
Yeah,
There was a couple bartenders behind the bar when I went for.
Don't forget there were other events going on at the same time, right? Daryl Hall was doing a memorial thing for his mom, who passed during COVID, and so I imagine most of their staff was like, "These guys will figure it out. Let's make sure we stay on Daryl Hall's beat." You know?
Yeah, I mean that's
I
pretty
understand.
scary though. I mean, like to have there was no one there. There's not one security or any type of employee that I saw from the stage all the way to the back.
Yeah. No, believe me. If somebody did something. Oh,
It is a little weird that a venue that big does not have a sound guy that is in charge.
And also, fans were making their way into the green room.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was in there. And if you can hop those 2 feet, if you can hop that little ledge, you're in the green room. And you can
we tried to get Eric up that ledge. It's like a loading dock without a
that
ramp.
was fucked up.
And me and Vince are like, yeah. I go, we'll just push him from behind. It's like moving a boulder up a fucking hill. It's just tried it once. He's like, fuck that. I'm walking around.
Bringing a piano up a staircase. One of those.
Yeah, I was walking up there. I was trying to get up, and I'm like looking at it, and then Cardiff comes over. I didn't recognize it was Cardiff. He just puts his hand out, and I pull myself up with him.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm Cardiff, by the way. I go, in case you forgot. He goes, and I go, fuck. I just think of you as the potato all the time.
Yeah.
Now, do you pay Cumia more than you do Ray DeVito?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
really?
did longer. He did twice as long.
No,
he did a full 10 minutes. Yeah, that's us getting Eric in. But he actually, what he ended up doing, Vince, if you remember, is he turned around, he sat down on it, and then turned around.
I remember.
Himself up, yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Cumia was the second best comedian out there by far, from what I saw. I mean, the other, I'm serious about the ones that need to be cut, but he impressed me too. Again, with his style and his ability. I mean, from a technical standpoint, he was really good.
He was.
Yeah.
He impressed the shit out of me. He's funny. He's funny as hell on radio and broadcasting and he was good in Rochester, but this was like he had a fucking killer set. 39% of the people in chat said they'd rather watch a ribeye from Rustic Cuts than Vince. You know what? I'd look at those numbers again, Brett. Any pics of Cardiff? No, we're not gonna dox him. What's wrong with you?
I think he had it on the whole night anyway, the mask.
Yeah, he had the mask on.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Why does he wear that mask? Is that a shtick, or is it he doesn't want to show his face?
Because when he broadcasts as a potato.
Yeah.
So, or he has a puppet, or so he's never revealed himself in public. Yeah.
So overall, was this show a financial success?
Yeah, absolutely. If everybody
got
gets
paid,
right? Everybody got paid, and we go home with money. Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that's a success. Vince is what Joe wants to be.
It's not off base. Like when I'm working with Ray on Ray's show, I try to channel Vince because I think it's the perfect kind of dry setup stuff.
Truth, yeah, reality,
Failure to prepare, failure to test, things like that. That's what I'm all about.
Right.
Now, I spoke to Carl. A few things. I thought I saw Carl there with a pair of scissors, and I wasn't even joking.
We're going back to the Stern Cleveland broadcast, huh? You're saying Carl cut my wires intentionally?
I'm saying it's podcast D-Day right now.
Oh, no. We are under attack, Vinny. We are under attack. It is podcast D-Day.
I think it's D-Day, but yeah.
Well, we're
Either
vaginas.
way.
That's why I called it D-Day. We're all a bunch of pussies yelling at each other. Go ahead.
I asked Carl out of all the things you don't copy is his setup protocol with audio people. Like the one thing you don't copy from Carl is the setup. Because at the beginning of the show, you made a great point. You said, oh, it was so great. It was so easy in Rochester. We just rolled up there and plugged in. Well, yeah, that's because Carl took the time and energy to set up and make it easy for you.
Well, in fairness, it's Vinny Paulino that did that, not Carl.
Well, Carl's in charge. See how Carl will take charge and accountability for his staff. So if
weren't you at his New York show? Didn't you go to his New York broadcast?
Me?
Vince? Yeah. Did you not go? Oh, he had a broadcast in New York that had a similar thing happen, that had a big technical difficulty that they had to vamp and figure out and then start the show later. So that's why in the text he was saying, fuck, I can relate, man. I've been there. He's great. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes shit happens,
Yeah, but then Carl texts me privately. He's like, listen, dude, they need to have that tested at least 3 to 4 days before I would have had my setup done, and there would be no issues.
He's 100% right. He's 100% right. And the next time we do it, we'll definitely do that. But my guys are gonna sleep at the fucking venue.
I love how we all are nice to each other's face, and immediately privately after we're texting right behind each other's backs. I mean, Shuli was ripping into this audio visual team privately. I'm like, you got to calm down, man. You got to perform tonight.
Lawyers all do lie. You know what? All of you lie all the time. Now I know. Blanket statement. I'll stand by it. How dare you?
I mean, has my
Bleak
assessment
the
of the do you disagree with my assessment of the comedians there?
Not necessarily.
Which is Ray out bomb, that Tony Hawk guy was a nightmare bomb out.
I think no. See, I think the Tony Hawk guy went about it the wrong way. I think he went out there to do a comedy set, whereas what he should have done, since there were majority of Perry fans there, and they all know him from Perry's stream, and I talked to him about it after the show with Will, and he agreed with me, is you make it more Perry centric. Your set, you give the people what they know you from, right? It's from that world. Don't worry about doing a drop in guest spot set like you would at a club. Have some fucking go experiment, do some shit that involves Perry, that gets him involved in your act. And it's different. It's not what is the normal stand-up, but if it works, if the people love it and they're fans of that, go for it.
Yeah, that's
what those spots down. We haven't talked about it yet. We're waiting for the third hour. We're gonna get into it. Julie thinks what? I missed it. Julie thinks he's less Moonves. Yeah. Take it. So yeah, I just think he needs to gear it towards. Does Vince ever allow what? Does Vince ever allow his pale skin to be kissed by the sun? He's almost translucent. Thoughts, Vince?
I can get dark in the summer.
It's got a porcelain glow.
There you go. I just think he incorporates Perry into his set, and he'll be just fine in those crowds.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, his bit was about being a dad and being a bad dad or a gay dad. I'm not sure what he's going at, but it just wasn't working. I mean, the whole entire
sometimes bits don't work. What are you gonna do?
I get it, but why are they using your show to work out new material then?
I don't think I don't think he was doing new material. He was just doing the wrong material.
Yeah, I was talking to him too, and he does LA clubs, which is a very different mindset than
that was an LA club set. That was an LA club set.
He's out.
So yeah.
Okay. I mean, LA or not, Bobby, funny is funny.
Yeah, I didn't get to see him. I was probably outside or something at that point.
Yeah.
I just at the end.
Bob stays away and then runs away. That's his hang backstage.
No, I was fucking, geez, man. My fucking head just started going, man. It was kind of hot in there too. It was kind of like fucking muggy. I don't like it like that.
All right. Carl invented Los Angeles County. All right. I think we're good.
We are.
Too harsh for Tony Hawk. Nobody hates the guy. Nobody says he's a failure. I just think he did the wrong set.
No, he was not happy with this set.
Yeah, that's all.
I didn't know who he was. I didn't know if he was self-assessing at all. Just I happened to be listening from the audience at the time.
That's all we do is self-assess. That's all we do.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You're fucking so critical of yourself. It's crazy.
No,
that's
but
what the business is. You have to be.
I always tell people, for as much as you hate me, I hate me even more. All right, because I've known me my whole life.
Get in line, pal.
You just tuned in a couple months ago or whatever.
So, was there plans for another show?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
West Coast is on the clock. That's where we're going next. Pickwick, we're definitely going to, for sure.
Yeah,
we ain't doing a show there.
But there has to be at least a before or after party at Pickwick.
Oh yeah.
Did anyone go to the KC After Hours strip club?
Kumia did and said
I heard it was great.
Said it was one of the worst strip clubs he's ever been to.
I can imagine. I wish I would have went to see it, but
I told people on stage, I go, guys, Casey's having an after party at the strip club. I go, and for those of you men who've always wanted to bang a stripper, This is the place you're gonna do it. Trust me. Yeah, your best bet.
What is what is his financial connection to that?
Basically, you get a cut if people show up and say, "Hey, I'm here to see KC," or that you give them a ticket with a number on, like the cab drivers in Vegas. They have the cards that they give the tourists and go, show this at the door, and it's got their number, the cab number on the back, so they know guy shows up later and gets his cut, bringing in 5 people. So
yeah, I mean that's a sad part to me when you see KC. I mean, at least he's willing to do the hustle for that, but his energy could be devoted to something more valuable than.
But he's just going by what he remembers when he used to do the stand-up, where we used to do these deals with different clubs after the show, and we would make extra money. People would come out, but you got to pick your spots, and Pottstown, PA strip club is that's not going to make you much money, but he was like,
Won't even get you a boner.
Right. He asked, he goes, is it cool if I do this after? I said, absolutely, go for it. We'll promote it. We'll help as much as we can. I get it.
You paid KC to perform that night too?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I don't know the business model. I don't want to get into it with you, but
yeah,
to increase profits eventually on this show.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a whole lottery system. It's gonna be great.
Why is the Italian guy talking with 2 Jews about how to make more money?
I mean, hello.
Yeah, it could have been cut down a lot, but we'll see next time.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking probably by half at least.
Vinny, you trimmed that L yourself? He's talking about the extra.
We actually have a couple other super chats, boss.
All right, let's do it because I gotta go. I gotta go. Terry Nee, Perry's house was amazing. Found it on it, dude. Their place was sick.
It was amazing. It was.
I was super jealous that they were there, and but I like our place. We had a cool, farmhouse. It was good.
Yeah.
I got some videos. We'll show you. Big Daddy Dodo, how did the dating game go? We skipped it. That hour delay up front with the podcast. Yeah. We had to cut that segment, which made Michaela very happy. Yeah. Bob, make a return show to Akron. I'll be there. $2. Graham Murphy. Julie, what was we did that one a while ago. I'll think about it. I'm sure there. Oh, I already remember it, but we'll tell it another time. Remind me next time. I love the Jake Hudson song. Yeah, we got that one. Thank you, Jim. In your defense, you guys have the best technical difficulties in the biz. Download now. Thank you, Scalzo.
It's true.
And we never shy away from it. We have technical issues that we've made into clips and put it out on the YouTube channel. My camera falling over, all kinds of shit. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Little Mir.
The hell are you guys talking about?
Yahweh. YouTube Live is interactive and much more viewers. Yeah, Tiffany. We love it on here. We'll be here again tomorrow. We're going to be doing some stuff tonight. I was thinking since we didn't get to the Rico podcast like we wanted to, maybe we watch that package tonight.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
For Rico. What do you think there, Baba?
That'll be cool.
Fire good except on lips.
For sure.
Partyest third mic in the biz. Don't at me about it, you kids. All right. Vince, anything to promote, sir? Besides Out of the Habitat, which is a great show that Vince is kind enough to include me in.
I'm still.
Was that you?
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, still working with Eli, the people's guy, and also Gas Station Encounters. Then they don't need as much help as Eli does to start out well. But Eli he's hitting the streets. He's out there, and he's got new material every other day.
Eli's insane. Vince turned me on to Eli, and I've been stuck watching his shit like crazy. Vince, it was great seeing you, dude. It was great having you out there, and I love you, brother. And let's record this week. All right.
You got it.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
All right, boys.
Here we are.
What do we got? Oh, here had a great night at Soul Joel's in PA. tonight. Now I'm at the worst strip club I've ever been to. Just slobs. Going to the casino. This place is big shit AIDS.
My
And look
God.
at the bottom. It says 69,000 views. I love it. How fat were the strippers?
Oh,
Fat,
God.
dimpled ass pigs.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if he isn't reviewing strip clubs, what are we doing with our lives?
Gee, that's fucking funny.
Shuli losing Ray DeVito to Win by 2 network, and he doesn't even know. You're right. I am completely clueless
You
in
should be
all
so
of that.
lucky.
Yeah, and by the way, my please, with my blessings, enjoy the goodness of Ray DeVito.
Hey, by the way,
Yes, Dodo, we are going to be working. I mean, the boys really, they got a lot of shit to go through. We will be posting to Patreon and YouTube membership paywall first. Then eventually it'll get out. Depending on what it is, it may never get out. But but everything from this week and this weekend, you will see at the Shuli Network, Patreon, patreon.com, the Shuli Network, or on YouTube if you get a membership, Shuli Network on YouTube. And then we're on Rumble as well. And yeah, when you get on here, you turn on your in your settings to allow for gifted subs, and people throughout the show will be generous and gift you subscriptions. So keep that turned on, and we thank you people for that. I believe who donated today? What do we got?
Dave Daffler donated.
Daffler
The bird.
donated 5. Thank you, Dave. We love you, pal. It's great seeing all of you. We'll have plenty more to talk about from this weekend, from the fallout. I'm sure everybody will have something to say about it. But the people who came, the people who stayed, can't thank you enough. It was awesome. We had a great time. And I really appreciate you guys coming out. And West Coast is next, man. So we'll keep you posted as to when and where. But we're looking forward to it. And thank you to Perry and his team, man. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
All the people that came and performed on the show. And thank you guys. So we appreciate it. Gay, you have the last word? Okay, thank you. Yeah. Shalom Shuli, Instagram, Twitter. That's all I got. What do you got, boys?
On Instagram, I'm Mike Morse. On Twitter, I'm Mike Morse Says. And I'm skulking about the Shuli Network and Ha History book, Amazon.com.
And 4 o'clock today, Misery Loves Company on YouTube, Misery Loves Company on Patreon, and I'll have some gigs put up tomorrow. Check them out.
Vince just sent me a text from High Pitch saying Casey's hot, that I guess he got from High Pitch yesterday. We've started another romance here on the Shuli Network.
Lovely.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back later tonight. We'll keep you posted as to time and what we're doing. But everybody made it back home safe. Miss Jean Levy, a happy Mother's Day to you, my love. What a beautiful hostess of me staying at Bob's place. Had the best time with Gina. Not so much with Bob, but it was great. Yeah, thank you guys, man. We'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Good night. Be there.
Yeah.
Too manly to be the beat.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go.